Good morning and welcome to Gaming with ADHD with a special morning edition of Topics and Tangents. This is a little earlier than I was planning on, but that's because Catalyst had the wrong time on backer kit or daylight savings time to screwed everything up. I have absolutely no idea. But the short answer is the Kickstarter is live and going a bit nuts. Let's see here. Let me just go ahead and get this screen pulled up. So my co-host is having technical difficulties. He will be here shortly. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this. This is absolutely nuts. Ever since I fired this off, this counter has not stopped going like this. This is absolutely insane. I mean, we are 13 minutes in, and it's already over 500,000. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. My co-host is here. Steve.
Hello. Hopefully I don't. Do I sound like a gremlin?
No, you don't. You sound like a normal human being. I mean,
well, I am British, but
yeah. We'll forgive you for that one, though. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm used to it. Don't worry.
So,
I'm used to it.
No worries. I went ahead.
How much it's going?
No kidding. I mean, I was thinking, we'll have some time. We'll get to know each other.
Yep, promenading and all that stuff. A soiree, tea. No, we made a mistake, and we was.
No. I did not make a mistake. I did not make a mistake at all. I'm going to prove I did not make a mistake. Like, check this out. All right, right here. This is what I've been going off of this whole time. Launching in 45 minutes. And this is what they put up on backer kit. This is what they told everybody was going to be happening.
Yeah. So
I planned accordingly.
I think someone basically went with doing it live and just pushed the button.
My guess, my personal guess is that they like something screwed up in the system because of daylight savings time.
Yeah. If time hadn't changed, it would be normal.
Right, but some idiot thinks we need to change the clocks twice a year. So
it's been a thing. Well, let's do this. Bloody hell! Right.
Are you backing it right now?
Yes. The annoying thing is, it's like,
dude, watch. Oh, the backers. When I flipped over, the backers was crawling almost as much as the dollar amount was.
It's mad. It really is mad. But they'll easily have 1 million by today, and the kit and the stretch goals are all of that. It's amazing,
right?
Because what is it? The big stretch goal. Where is it? Let's go down.
So I didn't.
What, we at 600K?
Yeah, six and a quarter.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. We'll be 650 within the next 15 minutes then, I guess.
No, we're gonna hit 650 by within the next 4. That's my prediction.
Okay. Yeah, the big unlock is bonkers. It's 2 million.
2 million?
That's the big stretch goal.
Oh, that's the big stretch. Okay, I haven't had a chance to look at this at all.
No, I'm just catching up now.
Oh, well, then hold on and we'll go through it. Come on, Steve. What are you doing?
I'm excited.
I know That's why we're doing this. Exactly. Apparently there's 5 people in chat. No one's saying anything, but come on. Anyways.
Yeah. Hopefully they're enjoying the show. Hello to everyone, wherever you may be.
Exactly. Real quick, the funny thing is, I know someone who did the 5,000. So, but he also did it last time. But we'll get into that here in a bit.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
I did the company, but that's my limit. Even that I think is going more than I probably should. But
yeah,
whatever.
I'm gonna do this one.
I paid the credit card off. It'll be fine.
Sounds about right. And
all right. So while Steve finishes backing, go ahead, take your time. Welcome everyone. This is Welcome to Gaming with ADHD. Cover all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's board games, card games, role-playing games, miniatures, everything in between. If you're here, you've probably, seen, and like a lot of my Battletech, miniature reviews. Anyways, I am a longtime fan of Battletech. Battletech is, Battletech is probably what made me the gamer I am today, even though it wasn't my first entry into the hobby. But yeah, this. Yes, we're about to hit 700,000.
The hell.
I'm guessing $1 million by 8:30. Or the next 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Jesus. That is amazing. Remember, it's a dead hobby.
I mean, it's a 40-year-old game. It suffers from old game design. Nobody likes it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's see. Have you picked your pledge yet?
I'm just doing that now. I'm just adding some. I've got to faff around with this bloody.
Oh, do the add-ons later. Just get your pledge in.
Yeah.
So we can talk. Come on.
Okay. Log in.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so,
It's called being excited. This is a big thing. Come off it. It's like this doesn't happen that often. Bearing in mind that Battletech as a game, it was really, I wouldn't say circling the drain, but it was heading towards it for a very long time. And then the first Kickstarter comes along at the right time with all the games and all that were coming out. I don't play MechWarrior Online, and MechWarrior 5 is quite good fun once you mod it. But the HBS top-down one, that's really good. Mm-hmm. And the life it breathed into it.
Yeah, I can totally agree with you on that. I also do know a little bit behind the scenes. Because I know a bunch of the guys at Catalyst. So Brent Evans, I put a lot of this on him as well. Because so Brent Evans is the art director for Catalyst. And I don't know if you saw the interview that I did with him. Basically, he talked the head of Catalyst into letting him be the line developer for Battletech. And the owner's like, no, you can't do this. You've never been a line developer. This isn't your thing. You're an art guy. And so basically just shut him down. But then Brent managed to talk his way into it. And basically, like the first Kickstarter was basically this was his responsibility. This was the last thing that he did as the line developer.
Yeah.
And it went absolutely nuts. So Yeah, it's kind of crazy just to see where it's gone. Obviously the new miniatures, the new art.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like I was talking with a couple of my mates about this. A lot of modern games, it's a case of they live and die on first impressions, and the first thing you'll see is a box or something like that in a store. And that, if that doesn't grab your attention, then you've potentially lost a customer. And it's like a lot of the Battletech art, it was either good, okay, or interesting.
Well,
novel design choices, I think.
Well, you saw my. I mean, I'm assuming you've seen my my figure reviews that I've done, where I actually go through and like I have the little spinny, and then we compare the original art. And I'm old, so I love a lot of that old art just because of the nostalgia factor. But some of that is just rough.
It's not aged well. Even some of the more modern TROs and all that, where it's a case of, here we are, this is a collection of body panels with some hips. And it's like, there was one Bishop Steiner did recently, he saved it, a mech called the Jingao, Capellan mech. The original one looked like crazy paving, and a Heinkel HE-111 from World War II had a baby. And it was just this... It was just this body panels and huge oval hips and legs that wouldn't have worked and stuff like that. And then this big glazed nose that was like a massive shoot me here thing. But he did a newer version of it and he saved it so much. It was just... And again, it's like you're sitting there thinking, are they doing this for the future?
Right.
Because there's still a lot of mechs and bits and bobs that need help, really. And we can only hope. We've seen with this being a success, it's like, wow. Well,
and I think
thundering along.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things is that especially since like you go from say 3025 to 3060.
Yeah.
Okay. The art, there is a massive shift in just the style of art, the clean, the way it's presented.
Yeah.
But but I think it's led to just completely inconsistent art.
Yeah. Again, it's like some of the original art. Again, it's like the classic Unseen. It's really, really nice. But then it's like you look at the Atlas from that same era. And look at its left leg. And its left knee is actually more mounted on the side, and its legs actually backwards canted. And it's just really weird. It's only stuff that you look at, it's like, hang on a minute, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you have other ones from that era. It's like the various AUST mechs, like the AUST Scout being a terrible example. Its legs would explode. This thing weighs 35 tons. It's meant to move at 129 miles an hour, and it's got little balsa wood legs with tiny little joints. And it's like, no, it needed work. A lot of the mechs really did. And of course, you've got the whole Unseen shenanigans going on as well. So moving away from that with the new looks and the new designs and all that, and the quality of the models, it's like, I got a little Warhawk here from the Alpha Strike box, and they're beautiful models. They've got some nice weight to them. They're very detailed and everything. They're just like beautiful pieces of kit. Whereas again, the old ones were like, some of them were, a thing. But that was kind of because they were limited by the art or by the model and things like that. One, it's like one of my favorite mechs, the Berserker, which I'm still angry Mr. Scroggins for not putting in the Kickstarter, and the Imp. It looked like it was designed by Apple to be a child-safe toy kind of thing, because it's all these smooth, rounded edges and these gentle, soft curves on a mech that's fluff says this thing was designed to be intimidating and scary, and it's like, no, this is baby proof. This is so that baby doesn't bang their head on it or something. And
well, so speaking of Mr. Scroggins, one of the things that I think has been the big selling point for the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, for now this Kickstarter, and kind of the whole Ill Clan push in general, is there is a much more consistent look to all of the mechs. You know, even for very, very differing styles of battle mechs. You know,
again, it was just desperately needed.
Sure.
Very true. Very true. It's going to be yes. Let's design a 100-ton war machine to be child safe.
So, real quick, Cole, welcome to the chat. It is so happy. I'm so happy to see you, sir. Cole is a very good friend of mine. Anyways, been a while.
Nice to meet you.
Anyways, so all right, we've been kind of all over the place, but it's gaming with ADHD. So let's be honest, that's not surprising.
Working as intended.
Exactly. As normal, I guess we will say, but let's do this. Let me switch back to my face, and then we'll switch back to this one. Let's start going through the Kickstarter. I'm not gonna, well, we didn't make any kind of a bet, but we have 1 minute to go, and there's still 100,000 away. So I don't think we're gonna hit it.
Well,
we're gonna hit 1 million, just not when I said.
Yeah.
So anyways,
it's insane. Look at it. It's just the rate at which it's going up is terrifying.
I wish I could have anything be half as successful, like a tenth as successful, and I'd call it good. But let's start going through this thing. Let's actually look at all of the stuff. We'll come back. We'll check in on the total from time to time. So, all right. So, real quick, what I already said that I went with a company pledge. What did you end up with, Steve?
Where is it? Regiment.
The regiment. Okay. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Nice. Very nice. All right.
Well, you get everything. Apparently, it's like someone game store near me worked out that it's technically cheaper if you get 2 of the 275 ones. If you just want the mechs rather than the bits.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if there's a way to pledge for the same thing like twice.
What? Well, I mean, so you get 6 force packs in the 275, and you get 12 in the 500.
Yeah, but if you get that twice, you also get the Mercenaries box twice, and you don't really pay that much extra.
Oh, God. Okay, I see. I'm not following the math, but I think I see. I have a hard time, buying multiple. Intentionally buying multiples of the stuff, even though I end up doing it sort of. Usually I start with, let's just get one of each.
Yeah.
Because then also, like, when they add like the mercenary packs, things like that, that's where you'll start seeing some duplication, and then other box sets. We've started to see some overlap. So that's just how my brain looks at it. I'm also cheap. So
but it works if again, it's like I don't have a wife or husband to explain it to, so whereas I know you do, so
we're not bringing that into this.
I saw someone's post on Facebook, and it was them with the previous Kickstarter, and they had a mountain of stuff, and I think it was like the full Kerensky or something close to it.
Mhm.
And it was a case of, I'm not going to do this year. I can't do it this year. My wife will kill me. And then someone put in the comments underneath it in the narrator's voice, but he did do it again this year. And then he had to explain it to his wife. And it's, I don't have that problem. So, yeah.
Well, there we go. So, but yeah, then like I said, I do have one friend who I know went with the full Kerensky, but that's because he did it the last time as well.
Right.
He just had a kid and named it, I think it's Kai Phelan. Like literally named him after.
Oh God, that's kind of awesome. It's not as cringy as like, oh, I've got a little girl. She's named Dany after the girl from Game of Thrones. It's,
yeah.
But yeah, that is a lot of money. But that is also like all of the mechs. It's just
right. Well, he just has a bucket of them. It's funny. Like I offered to trade him some, and like it's like I'll paint them, and then you can just like for everyone that I paint, just give me a figure. He's like, yeah, no, it's like his 6-year-old or something. He's like, those are his mechs.
Oh,
I can't do that.
That's really good. That's really good. But again, it's like looking at the mechs for this one, they're beautiful. All of the stuff we've seen beforehand, it's like that Devastator, for example, there. Just stunning. But it's very similar to the old one, but just better and not looking weird because it's not 30 odd years old art.
Well, and it's that consistent consistent style. So especially when we're thinking about all the mechs that we have now, seeing something like this, it just fits, and you're like, okay, cool, I can go with that. Anyways, I keep scrolling down, hoping to see,
and what one do you want to get, Kevin? Basically go with what you want. It's a case of, if you're new to the hobby, I don't know if you are or not.
So Kevin is very new. He's another local friend of mine. Just got a game of Armored Combat and then an extra box. For Kevin being new, veteran. I would probably no, I'd say like the company level, like I did, to get like a couple of mech packs. Like honestly, what I'm kind of doing, actually, very, very Silent Mouse makes a great point. As much as you can afford.
Yeah. Or as much as you want to afford. It's not a case of, I must, because otherwise I'm not going to get my hands on it or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything in this that's going to be Kickstarter exclusive. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. But like I would say any set that includes the main box and then maybe 1 or 2 extra mech packs. Like me, I just wanted a couple extra because I'll be honest, for doing my mech reviews, like what I mainly did the last time, I borrowed most of it from friends. I didn't have to buy all of them myself, so that actually worked out really well. And basically, I'm hoping I can pull off the same this time, but we'll see what happens.
You said you've got a mate who's gone for the full Kerensky, the big capper.
He literally lives on the other side of the country.
That is an inconvenience. For me, that's a 2-hour drive. For you, that's a little bit more.
Exactly. So Dr. Death brings up a good point. I think we'll bring this up for others that may have the same questions. So how do you get the stretch goal stuff after you pledge your money? So as a Kickstarter veteran, there are 2 options. Number 1, Kickstarter now has ways that you can just put in the add-ons right away, and you've just already paid the money and you're done. But theoretically, they're also going to be having the backer kit site set up as well. And so then you can go into backer kit. Now, the backer kit is going to be after the pledge or the Kickstarter ends. And then you'll be able to go in and finalize it. That's usually when they charge you for shipping. So you don't have to worry about spending it all right now. There will be plenty of ways to add in.
And it runs for a month. The only thing that's kind of exclusive is if you work within the first 48 hours, you get a fighter.
Right.
You get, I think, a Clan Omni fighter.
It's the Shiloh Visigoth.
Visigoth, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you've got me running.
I take it you live in Australia then, Very Silent Mouse.
Yeah, he's in Perth, I think.
Okay.
So
that's where my sister is, actually. She emigrated out there 15, 16 years ago, I think it is.
Oh, all right. I don't know anyone in Australia.
Yeah.
So, well, except for Very Silent Mouse, obviously. He's hung out with us in chat before.
Yep.
All right. So, so it is definitely a Visigoth. There we go. Found that. And also, even if you don't back it in the first 48 hours, where they give you the Visigoth for free, they're most likely going to make it available for like $5 or $10 anyways. So you still won't lose out on it.
Yeah. Well, there's a will, there's a way, basically.
Exactly. So the mercenary box, we're going to get 8 battle mechs and 4 vehicles. These are the mechs here, which I think are all new mechs.
Yeah. There's no repeats from the previous Kickstarter in it.
Are there supposed to be repeats in any of the box sets that they're putting out, or is it just...
No, they're all new. You're the only ones that you're getting repeats in are the specific mercenary packs, where it'll be like Hanson's Rough Riders or the Eridani Light Horse or whatever, where you'll get like 3.
But I don't think those are part. I don't think those are part of the new Kickstarter.
No, they're not. They're because they're like Barnes and Noble exclusive, or I think some other store as well. But basically, those two, they're not in this. But all of these mechs in this one, they're all new. They're all ones we've not had done before.
Okay. We've got the Inner Sphere Assault Lance here, which looks like a Goliath, the Axeman.
Let's have a look.
There's a limit to how much I can zoom, apparently.
Yeah. And what is it? The Clan Cavalry pack again. That's a lot of 2Cs. It's like the Phoenix Hawk 2C.
The Jenner 2C.
Jenner 2C.
Locust 2C.
Shadowhawk 2C. And the one that looks like a walking jet fighter. The Glass Viper. I think it's called.
I don't know. I will take your word on that one. Okay.
Black Python.
The Black Python?
Yeah.
Okay.
The original art for that was terrible, but the new art for it is beyond sexy. It is. Where's the chat thing?
Yeah, I remember somebody posting it in the Battletech group on Facebook, and they're like, yeah, how do I, I was given this, and it's like, okay, how do I make it look not horrible? And I think I pulled it off, and I think they did pretty well also. So, all right, so we've got the Recon and Hunter Lances. So this is actually kind of cool, the fact that the vehicles that you're going to get 8 of them in a box.
That's a really good deal as well.
Yeah, I think it's, partly also to keep the box at the same size. If you only got 4 vehicles out of it, you'd kind of be looking at it's like, what am I paying for?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's a really good, it's like that one there is, what is it, a pair of Ontos, a pair of Behemoths, 2 Warriors, and some Skulkers. That's good. That's good. That's 2 100-ton tanks, 2 80-tonners, and a bunch of light stuff. You can't go wrong with that. It's a good deal. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the other thing. I mean, the boxes are, usually $25 to $30 US. So, and then, like, I'll be honest, I'm cheap, and so I wait for sales. So it's usually not hard to get.
That's not cheap. That's common sense.
Yeah. Well, it's just the way I work, you know. But like, it's like we go to the store. It's like, ooh, what's in the clearance aisle? You know, I don't need 20 bags of cinnamon toast crunch, but they're 50 cents, so I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, that'll last forever, basically.
It's anyways. I am not sure what. I wish they had just like a list of all the battle mechs and just like, here's what's released and here's the names.
2 seconds. Let me.
These are great. I don't know what they are.
I'm on Squadrons' Patreon.
Oh, okay.
And he has been obviously showing off some of the stuff beforehand.
Right.
Right.
While you're looking that up, I will come back to it, but let's see where the total's at.
It it's not stopping.
It's slowing down. Remember, it was at 900,000 at about 8:30, or so about 15 minutes ago, and it's only gone up another 100,000. Or it's gone up 200. Well, 200,000. 200,000. Let me do the math right. But that's 200,000 in about 15 minutes as opposed to 900,000 in 30. So
yeah,
it's definitely slowed down, but that's fine. I just kind of want, I just thought this would be fun to do. I figured something like this would happen. I didn't know it would go this nuts.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is that if it's gone over 1 mil, that is all of the mech packs unlocked. So that means we're going to get everything.
Yeah, we haven't. Actually, isn't this one of the AUST units?
Let's have a look.
Because we didn't mention that one when we went through. Okay.
Yeah, that's a AUST Sol, I think, or is it an AUST Rock? I can never bloody remember.
I don't remember either. I always hated those mechs. They looked horrible.
Yeah, but again, the new ones, they just look amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement over the original art.
Yeah, it's an AUST Rock with the SOM4.
Silent Mouth says that this is the Phoenix Hawk 2C.
Yeah, Phoenix Hawk 2C, and on our left, it's right, is the Shadowhawk 2C, and then the Griffin 2C. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that looked like a Griffin to me, but I'm like, no, that's not right. And they've already done a Griffin. 2C makes sense.
Yeah. Again, a very nice mech. It's like you look at the stats and all that for the second line clan mechs, and they're like really good. A lot of them are very nasty. The Phoenix Hawk is a weird thing, but it's still quite capable. But the Shadowhawk and Griffin, they're very capable. And they're interesting because they are clearly designed to complement each other. Because the Griffin is very much a long range thing with 4 LOM5s and an ER large laser, whilst the Shadowhawk is lots of streak 2s, ER mediums, medium pulse lasers. It's a brawler.
Yeah.
And so you would think they would complement each other perfectly, and they really do.
Let's see.
Yeah, at least the site didn't crash like last time, because I think in the original one it was overwhelmed. There was just so many people signing up for it.
So this is the White Raven. That's right.
Yeah, that's the Black Python. That's one of the ones we're getting in one of the clan boxes.
Yeah, they literally took a fighter plane and just put legs on it.
Yeah, but that is such a sexy looking piece of artwork. It is beautiful compared to the original. Go away, which is I think the polite Peggy 12 version would be unique.
All right, we're gonna need a vote, everybody. Which do you like better? The original or Black Python, or the new Black Python?
If you say the original, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. I mean, look at its legs. How the hell is that meant to support 75 tons of mass?
Oh, come on, Dr. Death. You're voting for the new one? Really? Come on.
New one.
Come on, this guy's great.
Oh,
He's amazing.
evil. You see that thing, it's like I need a young priest and I need an old priest. You just want to get rid of it.
Oh, all right. So this is kind of interesting. The swag. I mean, I know they offered it last time, but they didn't have the lapel pins. It was just the challenge coins and the patches, I think.
Yeah. There was also the dice, but we don't talk about them.
I don't know where mine are. I just don't remember them. Or my dice weren't too bad, but I think I got Clan Wolf.
Yeah, I had some Hell's Horses, I think, and
why would you get Hell's Horses?
Well, there is a bit of a thing with me and horses.
Which we should have been talking about.
We should have been talking about, but we're excitedly gibbering about this, so there's nothing wrong with that.
We'll get to Zhukov.
Exactly.
But yeah, so here's the vehicle pack. Obviously, add-ons. They're just going to be like, hey, get everything. That they already make. Oh, what is your opinion on the 4-inch Mad Cat?
I like it. I think it's bearing in mind it wasn't something that CGL did. This was not done by them. This was something that the model manufacturers said and gave out and paid for out of their own pocket to have done as a way of apologizing for the last Kickstarter with all the delays and everything that we had with all the model printing and all that. And it's nice. It's a case of it's a display piece. I'll paint it up. I'll put it somewhere. I think it's really nice.
I might even paint panel lines on this thing.
You could.
Steve, this is me.
Where are you? Yeah, you and your brush control. You'll be fine. It's like I saw that it's like there was, I think it was like Gen Con or something. There was these large scale elementals and stuff like that. People were calling them like Destiny scale. I have no idea what that is, but they were like that big, and they had a human wet next to them, and they were full scale, about that big elementals. It was like, what the hell is this for?
Okay.
And there was also,
hold on, think about it. So they said Destiny scale. What's Destiny in Battletech context?
I have no idea.
Oh, so you haven't heard of MechWarrior Destiny?
Is that the RPG?
It's the second RPG.
No, I've not.
So Time of War is the one that's based on the original MechWarrior role-playing rule set. Destiny is actually based on the Shadowrun Anarchy rule set. It's it's actually it's supposed to be a rules light version, or Shadowrun Anarchy is rules light because a lot of people don't like the crunch factor of Shadowrun. So, hey, here's this rules light version. And then they adapted it and did MechWarrior Destiny. And so then Destiny scale is supposed to be, you're playing your RPG and you've got your character because, if you have your character out in 6mm, you have a dot on the table.
Yeah.
It's not very exciting. So a Destiny scale elemental would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
there was like a whole bunch of them. But I don't know if they're coming out or if it was just for this event that they were at or something like that. Not a clue. Is Destiny not that good? Mouse?
Yeah, Mouse is clearly not a fan of Destiny. I have not looked at it yet.
Same here. I didn't even know about it until just now.
Well, there you go.
Knowing is half the battle.
The other half is red and blue lasers.
Right. I can't remember. Was it G.I. Joe or was it He-Man that did the bonkers one? Because one of them would be like, hey, kids, don't do drugs because knowing is half the battle. And the other one was like, don't push grandma down the stairs into a pit of possums.
They both did it, actually.
Yeah.
like at the end of... okay. I
know that it was like one of them was like really stupid stuff. And it was like really obvious stuff, like don't stick your head in an oven. And the other one was, again, it was like more sensible, like wear a helmet or look both ways when you're crossing the road.
I'll be honest. Okay, so oh man, you are gonna derail me. Because I loved G.I. Joe as a kid. Always remember the PSAs. I actually think the G.I. Joe PSAs were relatively reasonable. But the weird thing
it was the He-Man ones that were bonkers.
No, the like the G.I. Joe ones was like, oh, if there's a downed power line, don't touch it. I'm like, I've never seen a down. I'm 46. I've never seen a downed power line.
Well, it's like I was talking with my mates a couple of weeks ago. It's like our junior school lives prepared us for far more encounters with quicksand than would ever really happen.
Exactly. And G.I. Joe was more on the quicksand side. But the thing is, they were still normal things, don't take pills out of the medicine cabinet that you don't know what they are. Have your parent help you. I mean, they were decent. But the funny thing is, so I'm 46 years old. I hated He-Man as a kid. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
For some reason, in my old age, I've been like, man, He-Man's amazing. My son actually bought me the DVD collector set for Christmas. I've watched them from time to time.
Yeah,
and they have the PSAs at the end, and they're still normal things. Like they had one, like there was an episode about drugs, and they're like, drugs are bad, kids, and it's like, oh, okay. So, anyways, they both did it. Apparently Cole and Kevin are both saying that I'm an idiot, and all over the city they get downed power lines. I've just never seen them.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now that we've diverted, let's get back to Battletech. The 4-inch. So obviously, there's some comments in chat saying that the 4-inch, they're not necessarily a fan of it because what are you going to use it for? I get that, but it's still also fun.
Yeah, it's free. It's something that is being given out. It's a case of even if you don't use it, you can give it away to someone or paint it up and put it in your local gaming store or something.
Yeah, I mean, there are like think about how many Warhammer players buy Warhammer models, or let me phrase that. Warhammer painters buy the models and never play the game.
Yeah.
Why not have something for Battletech that does the same thing?
Yeah.
That's, whether it's, the hobbyist who just wants to paint something and so paints that up. I'm opening this up in a new tab so we don't have to scroll up and down because I finally figured something out.
What's that?
Well, just that I should open it up in another window instead of scrolling up and down.
Well, yes, that is common sense, but okay.
So I think, some people are going to complain about it, but
exactly, Jay. That's what I'll be doing. I'll paint mine up and have it on my desk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I will probably paint it on stream and, actually do panel lines for once. Because I hate panel lines. But
that's why I'll admit to cheating. There's this stuff. What is it by Tamiya? This stuff here.
Okay.
It's like panel line accent color, and you basically it's like an ink, and it comes with a little dipper brush thing, and you just dip it in, and it fills all the panel lines, and it's really good.
Oh, okay, got it. So when I was saying do panel lines, I'm talking where people will do like the highlight color around all of the panel lines.
Yeah.
That's what I avoid. I don't care how much you say I've got awesome brush control.
You do. You painted a New York taxi cab on a Dasher. It looked awesome.
I still love that one. Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, it looked bloody brilliant.
Thank you. But I just remember on stream, and I'm just laughing hysterically because of how good it looked.
It looked really good. It was that would be something to be proud of. It was the perfect yellow and everything.
Well,
okay.
I think I think it made it I think it made it a little better because I hit it with that dark brown wash, so it kind of had like that dirt oil kind of look to it. Kevin, I will message you later because I do, but I got to dig it out, and we're on stream. So that's for Kevin. Whoa, what is happening there? I'm not painting that.
No, that's beautiful, but yeah, screw that. It's like the Turkina Keshik. Put the golden bird on it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put the stupid golden chicken on my mech. Thank you very much.
I'm going to try and do it on that Bane that I started the other day. But yeah, this is something else.
Yeah.
Anyhow, man. Blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah, just got an update as
well. All right, here's the pledge levels. So you've got the book, the $35 recruit, $80 veteran. I will admit, I'm not well. Okay, so you get the 4-inch Mad Cat, you get the novel, and you get a challenge coin. I'm like, I don't know if Mercenaries is really worth $80. I think Alpha Strike was worth $80.
Yeah, over here it's a bit more expensive. It's like you're paying on average anywhere between 80 to 100 euros for your Alpha Strike boxes, just because they're hard to get.
Because they're hard to get, or because of the import?
Yes, basically. It's like I bought 3 of the Hanson's Rough Rider start balances even from some shop in the US, and had them sent over from the US. Got walloped with a €50 import fee. So it's like, Jesus Christ. It's one of the things. It's like if you're in Europe, they can be a bit of a bugger to get your hand on.
Okay. So this is the first update. Looks like they funded in under a minute. We can watch Talon's video if we want. But I mean, I think it's just going to be general blah.
Infusing blah.
Yeah. What are there? I don't care about any of this. All right. Okay. $100,000 stretch goal. Not the way the smart money bets. Kell Hounds Ascendant #1, and a free Erdani Light Horse poster.
Oh, nice.
Okay, if that's included in the package of goodies, awesome. Like an actual poster.
Yeah.
Not that I have anywhere to.
Again, it's like I've got a couple of them. They're rolled up. I can't put them anywhere, but I've got them.
Let's just say I've already taken over the house, kind of, putting stuff on walls. I think might drive my wife over the edge, but that's a separate issue. All right. The Lexington Combat Group wallpaper.
I think that was that multicolored bunch above that Phoenix Hawk.
Oh, okay. All right. $200,000 stretch goal. Fortunes of War #1. And Erdani Light Horse poster will be upgraded to include a battle mech and vehicle recognition image. Okay, so that's kind of like they did on the other one.
Yeah.
Where they had the big poster. Here's all the mechs that we did as part of the Kickstarter.
And yeah, I think you're right. Gambit Raven 2 mil easily if it keeps going. It's like, bloody hell.
Right? Yeah, I don't. I bet you anything that we'll see 2 million probably by the end of the day would be my guess.
Yeah,
but we will see. I was wrong on my first guess by 10%.
You was off by about 5 minutes. But
That's
not that bad.
All right. $250,000 stretch goal, new add-ons and reward options available. Okay. I hate it when they. I'll be honest. This isn't anything against Catalyst. This is against anybody running a Kickstarter. You know, if your
Tell
stretch
us what
goal,
it is. Yeah.
well, tell us what it is, but also like new add-ons.
Yeah.
Okay, so we unlocked you being able to give us more money. That's not how it usually goes. You know, I don't know. That just usually annoys me. You know, like to make add-ons a stretch goal, if that makes sense. You know, like I could see, oh hey, we've got a new add-on to like help them hit additional levels, but a new, and I don't know. That's just, I think that's just me venting. All right, the 300,000, the poster is now bigger. And Kell Hounds
that would be, I have to agree there, again, but that would be very expensive for shipping. Free shipping for everyone, bloody hell, yeah.
Oh, I don't think they'd ever do. Hold on a second.
What do you mean, Cole?
It's how it has to go. Reaper Bones almost destroyed them. Do you mean? Well, Reaper's obviously done like 7 Kickstarters, but I don't. I mean, and they gave away a lot of miniatures doing that too. So maybe the amount of giveaways in the Kickstarter hurt them.
Don't know. Well, bearing in mind it was like with the previous one, with the first one, I don't think they were quite expecting it to be so successful, because again, it's like you think Battletech, Dead Game, whatever. We'll hit our thing. We might get a couple of the stretch goals, and then it just kept going and going and going and going, and you could see them. It was like they were rabbits in a truck headlights, because it's a case of, okay, we've smashed that goal. What's the next one? What next can we do? Everyone gets a canon character. Will we do that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it got to that, and then it's like, oh god, and it just kept going.
That's true as well.
But with this one, I think it'll be a case of we'll probably. I don't know if they'd add any more afterwards. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if it gets that high.
And
he says it's nearly 1.2 mil.
Well, and Cole brings up a good point.
Oh, no, no, it is.
If you make the pot too rich, you get diminishing returns, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was just venting the wrong way about it. But I don't know. It's just like, I don't mind them giving add-ons. I guess I should clarify.
Yeah.
It's just where the stretch goal is the add-on. Like I could say, oh, put in a new stretch goal at a higher tier. Oh, by the way, we also put in this add-on to get people to spend more to hit that next stretch goal.
Yeah. But again, this is how they make money. They've got to make the money. People want
not
the
opposed
shiny.
to making money. Anyways, okay, so McCarran's Armored Cavalry poster. All right, so we've got the Recon and Hunter Lance's Force Pack, Intersphere Security Lance Force Pack. I wonder if we have pictures of any of these.
I would assume that more are going to come as time goes on.
Clan Cavalry Star, Assault and Cavalry Lances, so that's probably more vehicles.
Yeah, the Cavalry Star was that one we saw a bit earlier. The Phoenix Hawk, the Griffin, Shadowhawk, Locust, and something else. I think it was the Black Viper, Black Python, whatever it's called.
Right.
Because there's another one that's got the Highlander 2C, the Bane in it, and some other ones as well. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like, it would be nice if we could see what they were.
Yeah. But so then the assault cavalry lances, inner sphere assault lance, and then we get into swag.
Yeah.
This I like. 10 game maps as part of Map Pack Savannas. I own every single Battletech map pack. Just throwing it out there.
Show off.
I'm not even talking about the new. Well, I mean, I am including the new map packs. But when I say all the Battletech map packs, I'm literally talking about the classic ones, the old ones. So
it was like
yes.
my journey with Battletech. It started, I think, it was because me and my mate Andrew, we was reading the books, and then we saw the cartoon, and I think it was about the time MechWarrior 2 was coming out, and there was a shop in a town near where we lived, and they had one of the unseen boxes in there, the original boxes with the plastic Warhammer, Marauder, etc. And we saved up our pocket money to get that. We've still got quite a few of the mechs because they were this horrible plastic that seemed to drink paint. It was weird. It was like you'd put paint on it and it would just absorb into it. It's like, ooh. It was like a sponge.
That's weird.
Yeah, we've still got some of them. So my mate Andrew, he's got like the Battlemaster still. But that was how it started, and we've still got the maps for that, for God's sake. Yeah, that's going back a bit.
Yeah, it was just one of those that like I always like I liked having the maps. Like when I got started with Battletech, a friend of mine at the time, which don't even ask me what happened to this person. I literally have no idea at this point. But gave me a map out of his City Tech box set. He's like, here, you can have it. And so that's where I got my first map. I photocopied the charts from the back of the rule book. And I literally just learned the rules, and then I had my charts, and that was it.
Yeah.
And
and once you got that's what you need. But you can do it with a case of, well, what's your mech? Well, this is an Atlas, and this Space Marine is a Locust. Kind of, it doesn't bloody matter. That's
D4s. I always stress D4s make the best battle mechs because they're pointy and you know which direction they're facing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then again, it's like once when I used to play Warhammer, me and my mates were playing Warhammer, and I used a small decorative kettle as a steam tank. It worked. But yeah, it's with stuff like this, it's a case of with the models and stuff. I know that when the first Kickstarter started, there was people being worried that their mech collections would be obsoleted and you couldn't use them and stuff like that. It's like, well, but hang on, we're not Games Workshop. It's not a case of, oh, they're old models. Oh dear, nope, sorry, you can't use those anymore. Kind of things.
And Battletech's a very different game. You don't really have unless you're playing Alpha Strike, you don't really have the same kind of like tournament structure.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, let's each bring a lance or a star or whatever.
Yeah.
And play a 3-round tournament. All right, guys, hurry up. Well, we're 4 hours into this first game and we still only have, 2 mechs out of the game, So
yeah, I remember the original. I've got an original catapult upstairs somewhere. I hate it. Ended up having to glue a 2-penny piece underneath its base because the original models were stupidly arse heavy and their legs were really long, and so you put it on, it fall over every bloody time. It was like that with my mate's Marauder 2C. It was the old Marauder 2C, which was just a slightly fatter Marauder with wings glued onto it. It looked ridiculous. And it was either arse heavy or front heavy. So it's either going to fall over and break one of its legs off, or it's going to fall forwards and snap an arm off. And it was just... And this is when we didn't know about things like pinning and stuff like that. Right. It was just so much glue holding this damn thing together.
I had some of my first miniatures were Robotech miniatures, and I bought them at the hobby shop, They didn't explain to me about glue or anything. I'm like, oh, these are metal. So I talked to my dad. I'm like, maybe we need to solder these together.
Oh God. Oh no.
It didn't end well.
No.
Well, we started with the base, so that actually worked out. Where like, okay, the base got a bit messed up. But then I went back to the store. I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, you want glue for that? I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I lost a piece off the front because I had the Robotech version of the Archer, which has all the guns kind of up in the front.
Yeah.
And there's this little panel that would cover them up, and I lost that. So then I took that glue and I just started filling it in so that I could have it. Didn't work very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand the whole not understanding pinning.
Yeah, well, we was young and innocent and didn't know. But it's like you learn these things as you go along. It's like one of my mates, Ben, he ended up working for Games Workshop, first as a red shirt at the local store, then he became the black shirt running the place, and he's still working for them now, but he's up at the headquarters in Birmingham.
Nottingham,
close enough.
It's England somewhere.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a case of he was the one who started helping us paint and stuff like that. When it's another friend of mine, another Stephen, he even entered Golden Demon and stuff like that. But he is horrifyingly good painting models. He is distressingly skilled. It's like he painted up a Thunderbolt. To see if I can find it. And the amount of work he did on it, it took him months because he's a perfectionist, and if it's not right, he'll start again and everything like that one. Come on. Albums.
19,000 away.
Yeah.
From 1.5.
Yeah, that is amazing, really. It's just thundering along. And yeah, it's like you learn to paint as you go along. I'm not a particularly good painter, but I'm still quite happy with what I can do.
Well, it's like I've said multiple times on stream. Figure out what you're happy with, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you like it on the table, who cares what anyone else says? Exactly.
And that is another glorious thing about Battletech. It's a case of with other games, you have to. It'll be a case of you've got to paint your army like this. You've got to paint it like that. They can only be this kind of scheme or whatever. Battletech is a case of doesn't bloody care. If you want to paint your mechs poo brown with green stripes on them, then more power to you. The only thing stopping you is your sanity. And it doesn't matter. Because, the mercenaries, it's a house unit. It's a weird alien camouflage planet, whatever. This is the third that my mate painted. I'll send it.
All right, we'll take a look at this, and then we will.
There you go.
Oh dear Lord! Then we'll jump back into looking at some stretch goals. So, son of a.
Yeah, zoom in on the chest.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's hand painted.
He's got some pretty good brush control.
He has terrifying brush control. And if you look at the next one, the Federated Sun symbol, again, hand painted. That is not a decal.
I hate some people.
Yeah. Yeah. That is hand painted. That is what he's capable of doing.
That one right there. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because it's even smaller.
Yeah. I have no idea how he did it. To me, being able to do that is magic. It's why I like watching you or Big Red, Mech Frog painting models, because it's always interesting to see how people do it and how they do certain things and certain effects, and it's great fun.
Do you mind if I share the links for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. There's one. There's 2. All right. Dr. Death wants us to talk about some more stretch goals, and I think he's right.
Yeah.
All right.
We are gibbering. Sorry. Terribly sorry, Dr. Death.
I mean, again, this is gaming with ADHD. We're just playing to our strengths. All right. So $500,000 stretch goal. Man, we are way behind. All right. So Digital Shrapnel Year 1 compilation. Okay. This one, I like the idea, but the way they did it last time was horrid. Because
it was like random downloads every now and then, wasn't it, or something? I don't know.
No, it was like one of them was in EPUB format, one of them was in Mobi format, which is like Google Reader versus Kindle Reader, whatever.
Just give us the bloody PDF.
Exactly. Why was that so difficult? So if it just fix that, or like give us a link to Amazon, or I don't know, just make it easier. Free mercenary salvage box. Okay. Nice. So random free miniature. More fiction. Sun Tzu's The Art of War, translated and annotated by Jamie Wolfe. Okay, that just sounds funny.
That could be good. Well, the thing is, again, if it's like what Sun Tzu, are we talking the Chinese bloke from several hundred years ago, or are we talking Sun Tzu Lao and his take on things? That could be interesting if it's the latter one.
Well, if it's Jamie Wolfe, though, do you think he's taking any advice from Sun Tzu Lao?
No, a good point. He didn't take any advice from anyone.
If he did, though, that could be the most hilarious book ever. Jamie Wolfe just saying, what is wrong with this guy? Yeah. This is stupid.
Have you seen this? This is nonsense. This is where he's wrong. Yeah, how to cause an interstellar war, but in 3 easy steps. Insult the owl.
That could. I would get that book.
Yeah,
I would get that book. Anyways, all right. Battalion level backers and above receive the Mercenaries Premium Record Sheets bundles. So I believe those are the dry erase ones.
Yeah. But I've seen people saying even then, if you get them, laminate them.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, print them off and then laminate them. You know, it's the premium ones. I believe are already laminated. Don't quote me on it, but I believe they are. All right, they've also got 2 new force packs: the Inner Sphere Heavy Recon, Legendary Mech Warriors 2. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. The Marauder includes 2 dorsal gun options.
That might let you make bounty hunters.
Maybe.
The bounty hunters Marauder with the Gauss rifle.
Some dude on YouTube says that we've broken a 1.5. Let's wait for this to update. There we go. And all right, 1.543.
Bloody hell.
All right, let's get back to this. All right, swag. Oh, 2 game maps as part of Map Pack Savannahs. 2 game maps as part of the Map Pack City. Okay, I don't remember them announcing Map Pack City.
Oh, Word of Blake swag as well. That could be nice. And get a Word of Blake, the sword lapel.
Pay your phone bill and go to church.
Yes. Or else.
Right. Pay your phone bill or else. There we go. Again, so they didn't announce Map Pack City. Interesting. Yeah, some dude on YouTube does mention Clan Invasion ended with 2.5 million. That is very true. I am not making any guesses as to where this is going to end up because I was guessing 1 million in the first half an hour and I was off by 10%. So,
yeah. But it's still going up. And again, we got it for about 28 days.
Right. So, there's still 4 weeks to go.
Yeah.
All right. 550, the McCarran's Armored Cavalry and Lexington Combat Group is supersized. Another Fortunes of War novella. Northwind Highlanders poster. Okay. I don't know why. I literally have no official fandom for the Northwind Highlanders. But for some reason, I really like the Northwind Highlanders, so I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, they're an interesting bunch. It's they've again, MechFrog did a very good video about them recently. And yeah,
his stuff is just solid. Oh, by the way, if you're in chat, number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, subscribe if you haven't. And number 3, go check out Mechanical Frog on YouTube. He's an amazing dude. He's super nice.
Yeah.
And he does really, really good videos. And I think he's writing all of the new Explorer Core stuff. I think that's his own writing.
Yeah, that's all his own stuff. And as someone who's written projects for Battletech, which we will eventually discuss.
Theoretically.
Maybe.
If not today, we'll do it one day, I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing it all, and he's basically doing a story in little parts, and it's really good.
So
share it, put a link in for him.
That would probably be helpful. Give me just a second, folks.
There you go. I'll give you a link.
Oh, well. Steve is faster with the links than I am, clearly.
It comes from working in customer support and working with people.
Actually, can you not share links in this chat?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to worry about trying to mess with permission, so I'll just move stuff around from private chat. So, there we go. Yeah. So then let's see. And we've got over 20 people in chat. I've never had this many. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I blame Steve. Steve brought you all here. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
Actually, you know what? I am going to do this. Okay. Worst case scenario, if for some weird reason we do not get to this today, I'm going to pin this in chat if I can figure out how. In message. There we go. Ha ha. Okay. Real quick, everyone. We're going to take a small detour. Yes, we will come back to the Kickstarter, but the original plan was for us to start the stream talking about Steve's website, which is the Zhukov AAU project. So it's a Battletech alternate universe fan project, and I should probably let Steve give the elevator pitch. So go, Steve.
This all started. It originally started because it was like I didn't like the art for the old warships because there's like the 3057 art for them. It made no sense, not in my head anyway, because it's like, oh, these are clan refits. And it's like most of the clans, unless you're clan Snow Raven and maybe clan Nova Cat, think that warships are to get warriors from A to B. And anything wasted on them is a complete waste of time. So why would they have these huge changes from the original 2750 art to the 3057 art, which would not just be a little change here and there, but it would be like a complete rebuild, which would be hugely resource intensive and stuff like that one. And the art was also dated. And I worked with an artist called Matt Plog, and he's one of the official Battletech guys. And we worked together to do a fluff book about just about the warships of the setting. And that then led to this, which is old Project Zhukov, which it's like a case of looking at the more ignored clans. Because let's be honest, if you're not Clan Wolf, Falcon, Smoke Jaguar, or Bear, it's like, whatever, you're Clan Derek. You go do Derek things. We can just ignore you, kind of stuff. And it was a case of a lot of the homeworld clans and stuff like that, the smaller ones, are interesting because they will be a bit more specialized or a bit more different in their own interpretation and stuff like that one. And with the Hell's Horses, it was a case of, oh, we are the tank and infantry clan. I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. What tanks and infantry have you got that's unique to you? One hovercraft. What else? Well, did we mention the hovercraft? Yes. And that was it. They until you get into the later years, they just had like a hovercraft that was unique to them. And you can do a lot with that. You can do, if you want to give clans a bit of flavor, you can do stuff. And that's what I wanted to do. So I had the horses become more focused on tanks and infantry. And it was, again, working with Matt Plog to have this thing come to life. I'll share some pictures.
Well, let's save the pictures for a little bit. So real quick, everyone, there's a whole thing here.
It's basically a TRO. I've done, what was it?
It's an almost 200-page TRO.
Yeah. And then there's all the ones beneath it that you can also download.
And it's free, and it's full of art that is not official Battletech, but it's done by an official Battletech guy. So go check this out. Okay. We'll look at it more here in a little bit, but I didn't want to
download as well.
Yeah. And Steve paid for art. He paid for a lot of art. So
we are lucky that Plog is affordable and quick. I mean, that guy is horrifyingly fast. It will be a case of, I'll have this for you in a couple of weeks. No, you won't. You'll have it in a couple of days.
Actually, you know what? Give me one piece of art. Let's give him a sneak preview, and we'll come back to it.
Let's have the big boy. Because it's like, there we go. Oh, yeah. Private chat.
Well, and that's one of the funny things about Battletech is you can make fan stuff that's essentially official anyways, because they gave you the rules to make all the stuff.
Well, it's like a friend of mine, Devin Ramsey, he did what is it? The Operation Lancaster. And that blows mine out of the water in terms of scale, scope, and everything.
I haven't heard of it.
Really? Oh, it's bigger than all of mine combined. I think it's something like 500 odd pages. And it is amazing. And yeah, it's a case of as you say, it's a case of you can make it official and stuff like that one. With this project, I've always tried to keep without introducing new technology and bits and bobs. It's all stuff that's familiar to anyone who plays the game. There's no new technology. There's no bits and bobs in there. It's just a slightly different take on basically it's the ultimate question: what if?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way of approaching it. It's just like, hey, let's not try to quote unquote make the game better, because I think that's where a lot of people will focus, like, oh, I want to house rule this or I want to house rule that. And instead you went with, let's make the story a little bit better. Let's take this faction that has a name that they're not even a minor faction. I wouldn't even call them a minor faction. Maybe a medium faction.
Yeah.
But they're named, they're in invasion corridors. But you're right. It's like they have nothing
to them. Yeah, it's like again, I did another one for the Snow Ravens, and it's like, oh, we're the warship, we're the Navy clan. Okay, what warships have you got? And that was
the same ones as everyone else.
Yes, exactly the same ones as everyone else. And it was just like, so you expand on that. You can go into this and you can give them more. You can add flavor without wrecking the situation and everything like that one.
But then they don't have plot armor.
Don't get me started on a certain Alaric ward. I know things had to happen for the story to progress, but
here's my one defense of plot armor. Pick any story and tell me a character that doesn't have plot armor.
Exactly. It's like I saw I saw a very good little meme about Star Wars. It's a case of people taking, stormtroopers, really bad shots and all that, and they're terrible and they're meant to be the elite and everything. And it would be a case of, because if they were really good shots, you would have this, and it would be a picture. It was a picture of like Aunt Beru and all that, but that's Luke, and then you wouldn't have a story. So you need it for the story.
Exactly. So, all right, let's get back to this because they've already thrown out a second update that we haven't even finished the first one. All right. So we got the Northwind Highlanders poster, more fiction for Kell Hounds Ascendant, dismantled. 750,000 was dismantled.
Yeah.
Veteran backers get a 21st Centauri Lancers image on the back of the Northwind Highlanders poster from the $650,000 stretch goal. Company level backers and above receive the Legends 2 PDF. And
that would be good because you've been painting mechs like the Legends people.
Yeah. Oh, man, I did not. That took me a second to put it together. I was just about there because the next line says regiment and above get the printed book as part of the fulfillment. So now I'm going to have another 200 pages of mechs. So, oh my gosh, it gets so hard picking out paint schemes. The worst part is going to be if they're doing mechs that I already had to dig everything out, and then they're like, "Oh, here's one." Really?
No, I bet you it'll be all new. It'll be all the stuff from the Kickstarter. It'll be all the stuff from this one.
Well, but the first one had mechs that weren't part of the Kickstarter. So,
because the Mackie.
Yeah, they did the Mackie
in this one in the proliferation pack.
Yeah, they did the Mackie. They did the Hammerhead. They did the it's a weird one from the Ill Clan era. I don't remember, but anyway, not important. Anyways, regardless, super excited. 800,000 more fiction. 900,000
big posters.
Big posters. 1 million. A double-sized mercenary-themed issue of Shrapnel.
Nice.
And the first ever Battletech graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
Company backers and above will receive a free PDF of issue number 1.
Yeah. I just saw what Cole said about when we was talking about plot armor. Someone who doesn't have plot armor, Sean Bean. Every movie he's in, he dies. Apart from in the movie the series Sharp, where he survived the whole thing.
I don't know who Sean Bean is off the top of my head.
Really? Okay.
Off the top of my head, I'd probably recognize him if I saw him.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways. All right. Also, they will advance the publication of Encounters Battletech for release alongside this campaign, a new push your luck dice game where you take on the role of mercenary commands taking contracts around the inner sphere. Got it. Okay, Ned Stark, and wasn't he also Boromir in Lord of the Rings? Okay, there we go. Got it. Yeah, so Sean Bean has no plot armor. Facts. A push your luck dice game of mercenary commands taking contracts around the inner sphere.
So I'm guessing a tabletop roll-off dice thing played with multiple. Yeah, that could be fun.
It's Yahtzee with Battletech.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. This will be... I want to see more about that. Let's see. Also, Inner Sphere Battle Armor Platoon, Objectives Force Pack. That could be fun. So it'll be probably like a hyperpulse generator or a factory or what, just little objectives, probably more appropriate for Alpha Strike, would be my guess.
Yeah. The terrain in Alpha Strike is actually really nice. In the box set, it's really good.
Yeah,
it's worth getting for that alone, really.
Yeah, when I did my review on it, I didn't punch it because it was my friend's copy. But it's really good for what you're getting out of it. Let's see, Legendary Mech Warriors 3 Force Pack, which I'm wondering if they just copied and pasted because they said Marauder includes 2 dorsal gun options. But this is the number 3 Force Pack. So are they going to have a Marauder in all of them?
There is an awful lot of Marauder variants, let's be honest. There's bloody hundreds of the damn things.
That's fair. Let's see. Lots of swag. 6 game max as part of Map Pack City. Okay, so maybe the when last time it was just 2 maps for Map Pack City, maybe they were just starting to build Map Pack City. Would be my guess. So now we're up to 8. And then another neoprene mat, graphic novel, and the Encounters game. All right, so that's number 1. Let's refresh this and see what they do for number 2. Back to all updates. I usually do this in private window. Give me a second. We'll switch over to the other one. Or
1.551 million euros. Bloody
there we
hell.
go. Oh, you were promised digital content during the campaign, and here's the link. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm not showing you, or we're not going to do that on this because I wouldn't want to make people angry. So, all right, we are. Wonder if we're going to be at breaks 1.7 now.
We're about to. Any minute. There we go. Oh.
I know. We're just like, is it? Are we? Maybe.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's mad. It's just bonkers seeing it go up like that. But again, it shows that this is not a dead game. Forgotten for a long time, yes, but never dead. I think the community helped keep it alive for a very long time in the days of clicky tech and stuff like that, which was probably the darkest days of the game. But to rebound like this with the first... what on earth is that?
It's a clicky tech. I just popped it off of its base.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about how much clicky tech I have in the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, the video games is like you had the HBS one, which was very good. MechWarrior Online, which is apparently doing okay. I don't play it. MechWarrior 5 is good fun once you mod it.
I haven't tried MechWarrior 5. I tried MechWarrior Online when it first came out, and I hated it. Because all it was a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And I don't like those. And it like I wanted the slow pondering mech, needing a joystick and all of the keyboard commands and whatnot, like a flight simulator, like Battletech's supposed to be. So
well, you kind of get that with MechWarrior 5. It's a bit slower and stuff like that one. But again, it can be quite fast-paced and stuff like that. But it's a game that needs to be modded, unfortunately. It's all right, but you have to mod it to get the full potential out of it, really, which is a shame. But they are apparently working on another one, which I have a feeling will be Revival.
Okay.
But I don't know who from. Would it be? It could be interesting to do it from the clans, be the bad guys. And
what do you mean the bad guys?
Well, guitar strumming vicars, they are not. Even Clan Cloud Cobra, who are the religious ones. It's a case of you could do Revival because we've done in MechWarrior 2. You did the Refusal War. Ghostbear's Legacy was its own thing. MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries was full succession war up to Revival. And they were good guys. Not really. Depends who you ask. And depends on what era of the game it was written in. When the
lots
game
of grey.
Well, again, it was like in the earlier years of the game, you had House Tavian who were trying to be the good guys, who were mostly the good guys, and you had the Draconis Combine and the Capellans, who were very definitely the baddies.
Right.
And House Stein and all bits and bobs like that. But they've gone away from that a lot over the years. And so you've got good guys and bad guys on both sides. So again, lots of grey.
Yeah, which honestly is probably one of the things that does help. It does help keep the system fresh. The fact that you can tell different stories. The whole shift in eras allows where it's like, okay, so these were the good guys in this era, but we're in a different era now.
Yeah.
So we can.
And Katharina Steiner Davian is in charge, and she is definitely not a good person.
Right. But yeah, exactly. Or Malvina Hazen. Hazen is not a good guy.
Yeah. I think a bit of a wasted potential with that character because she was just so one-dimensional. She was the cackling lunatic who wasn't... she was basically omnicidal. She was. She wanted to kill everything. And you'd think that any clanner with an ounce of brains would see her as like a case of, yeah, she's a little bit nuts. We can't follow that. Let's deal with this problem one way or another. I don't care if she's a good mech warrior pilot. It's a case of arrange something kind of thing, if needs be.
Did you see Mechanical Frog's review? Oh, it was like 2 weeks ago or something. I
think I know. Oh, he was talking about the clan invasion book where he was on holiday. Yeah, about revival. Not revival, about Malvina. And it's a case of.
Yeah, and I think he brought up a lot of really good points, and you're just like, oh, that all makes sense. But then you also have the problem of, let's be honest, the clans were created as basically
aliens.
As what?
Aliens.
Well, no, I was going to say like a society that is literally might makes right.
I'd say they're a noble attempt at making an alien species without them being alien, because their society and everything is utterly alien to us. Even in our modern mindset, it would be as strange and weird and backwards and different as if we went back to ancient Greece and went to Athens and saw what their society was like in the early BCs or late BCs or whatever. It would be so different. We wouldn't have a frame of reference, and they wouldn't have a frame of reference to us.
Right.
And that makes it alien. And in that regard, I think the clans work, but they could have done with another couple of licks of paint and another glue over or something, just to make things make a bit more sense. And it's like the whole, you've got to be young, you've got to die young, live fast and leave a good-looking corpse mindset of the clans. But you want to keep your experienced people because they're the ones who've got experience with leading, with knowing how to organize stuff and things like that. Not that a 17-year-old who's just shot and killed 3 other people would know how to do that. They wouldn't really have the experience, the knowledge base to do it. But because they've shot and killed 3 people, they now outrank you. And that's it's I don't know, as you said, with the whole might makes right kind of thing. It's like I think the clans are an interesting way of making an alien species without them being alien, because their society is very alien to us.
And I hadn't thought about that before. Because like I always talk about like the Omnimex were, in my opinion, and this is pure speculation, were an attempt to get away from having to make every single model, and every single model is unique and completely different. Instead, hey, we can release a little model kit, or we, even if it's metal, we can swap out this part for another part, and suddenly we've got a new kit we can sell.
Yeah, I think because they did release some mech packs like that again this is the Valpartha era, where you could buy like a summoner and there would be different arms for it and stuff like that one to make it a summoner B, for example.
I think they were still individual packs,
Yeah.
but I think, but again, all you have to do is swap out your arms. So, yeah, but again, that was me just looking at it from a business standpoint. That would make sense to swap those out like that.
Yeah, it is a cheaper way of doing it. And I think it's a clever way of doing it. It's just with the law stuff, it's a case of with some bits and bobs, it could use a little bit of and I have to agree with what Cole said. It's a case of with the clans, maybe another lick of paint and another going over in the design stage to work out some of the weird inconsistencies and bits and bobs. It's like one of the common arguments that gets brought up is numbers. The clans and their population, they think it's a couple of billion or something like that one, and it's a case of and with the warriors being a few 100,000, maybe.
Right.
And how are they meant to conquer and control the inner sphere? It's like in my Project Zhukov book, I had a little short story. It's a case of from a civilian factor, a clan civilian factors point of view. It's a case of she's been in charge of a town of 20,000 people, and that was a large amount of people. She's now put on a world and is expected to be in charge of a world with 2.4 billion. Or something like that one. And it's like, how the hell can we organize our systems here? It's too big. We can't enforce it. They're not going to take it. What the hell are we going to do? Kind of thing. It's when you apply logistics and logic to it, it kind of doesn't really work.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit of suspension of disbelief. Like I'd heard somewhere that like in Battletech, like the entire Battletech universe is vastly underpopulated.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 years from now on this many planets, like there comes a point where okay, so you colonize a planet, this may not be the most politically correct thing to say, but you start making babies.
Yeah.
And you have to. And just to establish survival, because it's like even with jump technology, it's like it takes a week to make one jump.
Yeah.
And so say you're 3 jumps away from from the nearest place, so that's 3 weeks away. Something goes wrong, help is not around the corner.
No.
So you need a population base which I don't think matches what they should have. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm going to put a link. I think I can put a link in. Where is it? There we go. Did that work? Yeah. This guy, Sven Vanderplank, has done some superb Battletech videos about the reunification war, the golden age, all bits and bobs like that, breaking down the campaigns. And these are quite long form videos where when he does the compilation ones, they're well over an hour, but they're brilliantly researched and stuff like that ones. And it's a case of the militaries of the time for the reunification war, for example, like you'd have a planet with multiple regiments defending it, of armor, of infantry, and companies of mechs and everything backing them up. And if the clans had run into that, they would have conquered about 3 planets and then run out of troops. Because it's just too much to take on. It's just like, what the hell? How the hell are we going to do this? But I really recommend this guy's Battletech videos.
All right,
really good.
Well,
they're in the playlist, I think. Give them a subscribe. Totally recommended.
Let me go to mine and then bink.
But yeah, and it's a case of Yeah, with it's like a FASA logics and FASanomics, I think, is the common term.
Fasonomics.
To explain, well, why doesn't this world have? It's a world with 6 million people on it. Why has it got defended by 3 blokes in mechs and a company of guys with rifles? It's like,
yeah,
it
I mean
is.
that might defend this island.
Yeah.
Not the entire planet, but
yeah. But again, it's like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, the story still works for the most part,
right.
And even with, I know at the moment the Ill Clan stuff can be a bit divisive with the fan base, mainly because of a certain Mr. Ward of the Alaric, where stuff has to happen because it has to happen, which is what I think it's like a Mech Frog did a very good review on Dominion Divided, and he brought up a lot of the stuff that irritated me about it as well, because why does this happen? Well, it just does. Why? Because. And it's just a bit trite to have things like that happen. But it still keeps the setting going.
Right.
In all honesty, you can ignore it if you don't like it. That's why people go, "Oh, I'm only ever going to play 30-25." Okay, fine, great, awesome. You do you.
Yeah, but that's another great thing. You can do that. Like they even put out their products. Hey, you want to play Succession Wars? This is all you need.
Yeah.
You want to play Ill Clan? This is what you need.
Yeah. Unlike, again, 40k, for example, where it's a case of, well, we've changed the rule set, so all of your army is obsolete. Now you need to spend money getting these kind of things to make your army relevant. It's not a case with that. It's a case of, you want to play Succession Wars, you've got a Thunderbolt. Well, here's the rules and stats for a Succession Wars hero, a Thunderbolt. All 72 configs of it for that area, kind of thing.
All right, so here's a question. So the $1.5 million stretch goal, which we've obviously blown well past, it's at 1.8 now. So all backers will now have the choice between the standard Mercenaries box or a limited edition version constructed from faux carbon fiber material, which, let's be honest, folks, they're going to put a different sticker on the cardboard. That's all that means.
Yeah.
With a red foil embossed chevron, so the Battletech A that they've been using, with no change to the contents. The limited edition box is unlocked for add-on purchase. So if you, so you can get a regular box and an add-on box. I'm kind of mixed on that one.
Yeah.
It's cool. But like at least like the unique box for Clan Invasion still fits with all of the others on the shelf. This one would just look completely different. So I don't.
Maybe that's like a first draft or something like that, and we'll see what it looks like when it's another version of it or something. As it says, it's subject to change. Things can always change in the Kickstarter, and that might change. We don't know. I won't get it. I won't get it.
No special box for Steve?
No. Because of the company that I work for, they give me lots of took for Christmas, and when something launches, it's a case of, here you go, here's a box, and it's like, okay, where the hell am I going to put? Me and my flatmate, we both work for the same company. And we're running out of space.
Wait, hold on a second. They give you what for Christmas?
Bling, basically. It would be a case of here's a statue, here's this, here's that, and stuff like that. So I don't want to say who I work for.
Sure.
And it will be a case of, so here's a thing to put on your desk, and here's another thing, and here's a statue of this character, and here's one from this, and boom, boom, boom. It's like, okay, we've got all of this. I've now got a box of glasses that were made for a game, and a gambling box set and stuff like that, and tons of stuff. But I'm just running out of bloody room to put it. So it'd be the same with this thing. It'd be a case of, it's a nice box where the hell am I going to put it? It's going to be buried under several other things that it's gathering dust. It's just too much stuff.
my wife says the same thing about my board games.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can imagine.
we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, it's like I know that I've got to get another display cabinet for all of this. So I'm gonna have to at some point pop up to IKEA and get that.
Yeah, but at least the De Tolf is like probably the greatest display case ever.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap and it's bloody handy.
Fun fact. Hold on a second. I have to send. Okay. So real quick. Remember my friend that I'm always complaining about, having to paint more Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy.
Yeah.
So we've got our little text message thread going, and he's like, "Hey, how long till this gets painted if I buy more stuff?"
Not Beta Galaxy.
Hold on. I replied back with 2030. Anyways, sorry. That completely. Here's a pro tip for you on the De Tolf. Get wire clamps. Okay, I think they're called wire clamps. It's the little like U-shaped screw thing, and then there's a little clippy thing on it. Okay, you get some little one of those, and you can put them around the metal bars on the De Tolf shelf sits on, because IKEA won't sell you extra glass shelves. Okay.
Yeah. Then
find someone who can cut acrylic, like with a laser or something. I could do it, but I'm not shipping it to Ireland. So
it would get broken. Irish Post, when they get things, I'm sure they elbow drop everything.
That's probably true. But my point is, basically get some just some clear acrylic, like 1/8 inch, or I guess it would be like 3 millimeter or like 5 millimeter. Cut to the same size as the shelf, and then you can add extra shelves to your IKEA display case. Since you were running out of room, there you go. Pro tip.
That's a good idea. I'll have to remember that. I'll have a look around for some, because I do need shelves.
All right. So real quick, the $2 million stretch goal, which we are coming up on, I think.
Well, I'd say give that 45 minutes.
Probably. Yep. 1.85 is. I was in my head. That's where I was guessing it was gonna sit around. All right. So the $2 million stretch goal. So this one has not been unlocked yet. The graphic novel is going to go up to 4 issues. Regiment backers get a free copy of number 2 in PDF. 2, 3, and 4 PDFs are available for purchase. Regiment backers receive a free map pack city. I'm not upgrading to regiment.
You want this.
I'm just going to add it on. All right. The Battletech Universe book will release this year through regular distribution. This Kickstarter unlocks the limited Perfunctor Marshall edition of this brilliant book. I'm guessing it's this thing, whatever that is. Exclusive to the Kickstarter and for a limited time on the Catalyst web store, but will not be sold through retail. It will include the following: a half dozen sections of multiple acetate sheets peeling away the various sections of units, battle mechs, battle armor, aerospace fighter, and more. As you turn each page, armor, then myomer muscle to the internal structure. So
cutaway.
Yeah, exactly. Like the starships of Star Wars, and then it shows
there was that elemental that was done recently by I can't remember his name. One of the guys, he does quite a bit of work on the text video stuff, and he did this amazing elemental. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. While you look for that, I'll keep describing the details. multiple gatefolds of the gorgeous large mercenary illustrations that are part of this campaign, envelopes with additional content such as the Hans Davian and Melissa Steiner wedding announcement.
Oh, okay.
Presented in a stunning box. If not possible, will be a slipcase. In other words, they're going to make it a regular book and just put it in a slipcase.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. This looks kind of cool. This is ridiculous. This isn't going to fit on any shelf. It's
a big slab of a thing. It's cool. Well, it's really cool.
Well, no, it's probably about the same size as a book. It's just going to be awkward and weird, and it
looks like a chunk of armor.
It does. And honestly, that's why I don't want it like that. We all think we want that stuff, and then we get it, and we're annoyed. Just give me a book, put it in a slipcase, and I can put it on the shelf with all of my other Battletech stuff.
Yeah.
I don't need to make like a little shrine or anything to this stupid thing because it's not going to fit anywhere else.
I've just sent you the link for the Elemental. It's Eidolon Rex, I think is the name of the artist, and he does amazing stuff.
Yeah, this kind of stuff. Exact. But it's going to be in different layers, so you're going to be able to pull it apart, and dig your way down. This looks really cool, though.
Yeah, if you click on it, you can zoom in, and again,
I think you're biased on this, sir.
I honestly, I don't have a favorite faction. Honestly, I don't. It's a case of, it's like I did the Hell's Horses, then the Snow Ravens, which also had a bit of the Ghost Bears thrown in there. Then the next one I had Ice Hellion, but a bit of Barracks, a bit of Diamond Shark, and a bit. So it's everything. I'm not. It's a case of one clan and kind of thing. No, I'm happy.
It's funny. Just let me laugh. It's okay.
Fine. Mock me. Carry on. Remind me why I put up with you again.
I have no idea. I ask that every single stream. You keep showing up, and I'm very grateful. And for the record, this has been an absolute blast. I'm just making my horrible jokes like I do.
As Kevin said, it's something cool for his toddler to rip up. That noise. Oh dear.
Anyway. I
can't take you anywhere.
That's why I stay home and paint instead.
With your brilliant brush control.
Yeah, right. With my. I'm not upgrading to regiment, Kevin. I'm not doing it. You do it so I can borrow your stuff. Let's see where this stuff is at. Are we going to hit 9? Oh, almost. All right, about 12,000 away. Okay, let's do this. This is going to be here for a little bit. So let's give... Oh, no, I don't want to close that. Well, so I don't know if you saw last night I did amateur role-playing game time.
Oh yeah, Rifts, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was making a character and I almost closed down the PDF that had all of the stuff that I'd rolled up. And it's like, are you sure you want to close this without saving? I'm like, no, I do not.
I've heard of Rift. I've never played it. I've heard that it's got like amazing art and a really brilliant, awesome world, but apparently it's like the gaming system for it is like getting hit in the crotch by a hammer. It's an amazing looking thing, but it plays like getting nailed in the plums.
All right. Well, because again, this is gaming with ADHD and this is how we roll here. Let's sidetrack for a little bit. This is Riffs. It is gonzo fantasy sci-fi kitchen sink role playing. It gets a lot of grief I think it's mostly because you play Battletech, you have no room to throw shade.
This is true. Okay, good point.
But the funny thing is the system is actually really simple.
Okay.
I've come to realize that. It's you roll a d20 to hit. You need to get either basically like you need higher than a 5 and you hit. But the catch is that your opponent gets to roll to parry or to dodge. So there's a lot of opposed rolls. And at the end of the day, that's it.
Okay.
The big problem with anything Palladium is the books are organized like trash. I hate to say it. And I think it's just because I'm out of practice, but I spent an hour building a character last night.
Yeah.
I think I might be halfway through. Anyways. All right. So let's do this. We are like it. The Kickstarter is clearly slowing down. Let's go back to Project Zhukov. All right. So we had our elevator pitch. You know, Steve wanted a better story about Clan Hell's Horses. So 45,000 words later.
It's not okay, fine.
You said it right here. Now with over 47,000 words and 31 designs.
Yeah, I may have gone a bit overboard. But the thing was, it's like with this one, I just enjoyed writing it. It's a case of with any story or with anything, with any character development or whatever in any setting, you need something that is called a driver. Basically, what is the thing that pushes people towards doing X instead of Y? And with this one, I used an in-universe attack, which was the bears going and trialing for the horses' brand new mech works on the world of Takasha. And it was a really bloody fight. And in that battle, the bears lost a beloved Khan, and he was killed in action. And the horse and the bears were pissed. But the fighting ended there. It kind of trailed off after the bears had won Takasha. But in this one, to basically make what happens happen, they attack the horse's homeworld of Niles. And in the fighting, the horse's mech manufacturing facilities are accidentally heavily damaged in the fighting, with lots of damage done to mech production lines. And it's a case of, okay, we can rebuild this. How long is it going to take? 3 to 4 years before we can even begin to make anything new? And it's a case of, oh, bugger, that's bad. And one of the other guys, a newly elected Sakan, he's go, produce tanks. We're a tank clan. We've still got the facilities for them. The bears didn't hit those. We need tanks. We can make them now, and they can be a stopgap until we can either improve upon them or get mechs back up and running again. And that's the start of it, because it's like a case of the horses are desperate. Because if they have lost their mech production facilities, they can't produce, they can't make up losses. And every trial they have will involve losses that they cannot replace. So every trial they will get weaker and weaker and weaker. And the other clans will notice this, and they'll keep trialing and trialing and trialing.
Okay, so
that's
quick question. Niles, because I'm too lazy to look it up on Sarna. Is that in the inner sphere, or is that in the homeworlds?
Homeworlds. It's in Pentagon, I think.
All right. So back in the clan homeworld. So it's sort of
before revival. Well before revival.
Okay. Wait. Oh, so this is before revival. Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay, which I should have seen this right here. So this is about 100 years before clan invasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting you to go backwards.
Yeah, I went backwards to go forwards. And if you go down on the next page, that's the guy that was drawn by a friend of mine. And we had fun designing that costume because we've got like a canonical description of it, and it's a bit vague, but it described it as being completely crimson, including the trousers. But when we did that, it looked like he was wearing a very posh crimson onesie. It looked like he was about to go to bed or something, wearing just one of those big snuggy cushion things. And so we just changed it to look with the black trousers. So it accidentally looks like a Mountie. Well, we've got the cavalry hat.
Okay.
There, and the cavalry saber behind him.
That makes sense. I like that. More red for Brian to paint.
It's a good color, black and red. It just works. It's just as a color scheme, it works, and it's not Beta Galaxy.
Facts. Facts. All right. So, okay. So then I like how you go into, the tactics, what the, giving, more story about how you're supposed to play Hell's Horses.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And this is talking about real world tactics and stuff like that one, and applying it to how the clans fight and how the Ionosphere fights. The Ionosphere, yeah. That's not a bad thing. Black and red. I'd love to paint up some mechs and tanks like the Brotherhood of Nod. It's a brilliant paint scheme.
Look at the logo for my channel, black and red. They're quote unquote power colors. People, fixate on them very easily. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. So,
and with this one, it was a case of, it's like I rationalized that the clans fight blitzkrieg. They basically, because they are relatively few in numbers, even in a big battle, they would use speed and aggression to overrun an area of a battlefield, crush a unit, and then move on and punch a hole. Whereas the Ionosphere tries to punch a hole in lots of places because they've just simply got the numbers.
Well, it kind of, if you think about it, it kind of explains Zellbringen. Pick your target and take that target down, and then pick a new target, take that target down. Yeah. Whereas,
and this would be how the clans would probably fight on a strategic sense, which is something that isn't really thought about. And so it was just me trying to put 2 and 2 together and not come up with 7. And I think it works. Works.
I mean, 47,000 words later. Real quick, has anyone from Catalyst reached out to you about this?
No. I think it was because of the, I can't remember what mercenary unit it was. I think it was the Kell Hounds or something like that. There was like a legal issue.
Oh, Eridani Lighthorse.
The ELH, that's it. Yeah, but there was a legal issue many years ago where stuff happened, and basically I think it would have left a bad taste in their mouth for using people's units and stuff like that. So they're probably wary of using that. I've always said if they contacted me, it'd be a case of, here you go, no problems, I'll sign what you need me to sign, done.
Right. Yeah. And I think this could be a good retcon.
Yeah, because this one, it's a slightly different revival as well. It still ends the same way. It still ends at Tukiyid with the Comstar winning, but there's more clans involved in it. There's basically, each clan has a reserve clan, and initially it's a case of all the big four were going in, and then the wolves pushing ahead activate their reserve clan, which is the Hell's Horses, to push ahead even further and basically get ahead further in the race. All the other clans go ape about it, start complaining, and then they have to activate their reserve clans, and it just keeps the momentum of revival going.
Okay. All right. So then you've done Hell's Horses Infantry.
Yeah, I wasn't really that happy with this art, but paid for it. It's done. Oh well.
That's fair. Let's see. Close up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the sort of Legionnaire kind of helmet.
That's one of the canonical things we've had. We've had distant pictures of Hell's Horses infantry with the kind of the main hair thing on their helmets. So this is an extension of that, just with an elemental.
Okay. More close up of
warriors.
Okay. And we even put in like role play weapons.
Yes. Yep. These they've all got the rules and everything for the role play game and stuff like that one. Again, this is all done by Matt Plog.
This looks like it could be used in a bug hunt.
Elemental would be carrying that thing. Because again, the Hell's Horses have lots of elementals. And even they've I said that they wouldn't be throwing their old elementals like any other clan would. It would be a case of if he was ancient in Smoke Jaguar, i.e. 30, it'd be a case of you there, go clear that minefield. What with your face? Go on, go die. That's basically their view on things. The horses and the ghost bears keep elementals around and use them as heavy infantry. Not just elementals, but just heavy, pure infantry forces.
Sure.
And so I wanted to equip them.
Okay. Let's see. And a little bit of Stargate action going on here. And
that gun, you've got to use it in sci-fi. It's I think it's a written law somewhere.
Sniper rifles.
Yep.
I'm sorry I haven't given this the attention that it deserves.
You are forgiven for now. But only for now.
We'll see what happens on the next live stream.
Indeed.
Okay, and also real quick, we have been going for 2 hours. I'm still awake, so I can keep going.
I'm fine.
But if you need to bounce,
it's 20 past 5 in the afternoon for me. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, I don't want to abuse people's time, and so I just wanted to throw that out there.
Rift. Yeah. Oh yeah, this was some elementals I had designed to show the difference in scale. You got your bog standard elemental, and then there's the Demos suit, which is a light suit, which is in this book. Again, showing the difference in scale. On the next page, you'll see. There you go. The the gnome, and the Electro, which Matt Plog had a go at me about because I reminded him of one of the Spider-Man movies with the design. Because with that one, I don't know if you've seen it. It's I can't remember what it was. It was like the second of the new Spider-Man movies, not the one more recent one, the guy who was in the Avengers, but the one before that. I don't know what it's called, but it had the Rhino in it.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and in that one, the Rhino is wearing this. It's a mecha suit, and he's more sat in it, and it's controlling its arms through movement with a Waldo. Same thing with the Electro. It's too big. It's a 2-ton battle suit, so you can't wear it. You have to sit in it. And it's controlled more like a vehicle, kind of like the Inner Sphere Kanazuchi, which is a big 2-ton battle suit, which is a cockpit where you sit in it and control it like a mech. It's the same kind of thing here.
So not quite a proto mech, but not
it's like
but bigger than a battle suit.
yeah, too big to be worn.
Okay.
It's like when you see people saying, "Oh, a normal human could wear an elemental battle suit." Most normal humans are not about 6'8" tall. If you put a normal human, they'd be sitting on the crotch panel, looking at the chest plate.
Well, but technically, I mean, don't forget they did do the
Kyle Odlau was wearing one. Yeah,
Kai wore one. And I know they made point because also he's on the short side, anyways. They made points about it being pretty awkward for him anyways.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's see. I keep going back and forth to the screen because we're about 30,000 away from 2 million.
Bloody hell. That is bonkers.
All right. What's next? All right. So we've got unit organization.
Yep.
So we've got tracked and hover vehicle. There we go. All right, I'm skipping over that part. That was
done by a friend of mine who's in the U.S. Army. He's a Bradley troop commander, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, whilst I'm ex-Army myself, British Army, but yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're now actually getting into the stuff. So we've got the Durga attack helicopter. This is very organic.
Yeah. With this one, we kind of, I think it was like with Plog, it is a case of he is very good at translating my excited monkey noises into art. And I'll give him like a reference or something like that and say, maybe make it a bit look like this or have some features of that. And he'll bang out a sketch within 2 or 3 days and go, is this okay? Does anything need changing? Yes, no, whatever. Done.
Okay.
And I can't remember what we used for this one, but I think it was based on the Donar. But this is basically like a different version of the Donar, which is again very angular and it kind of looks like a bird.
Okay. 25 ton. The Vel Harasser Strike Hovercraft.
Yep.
Okay. What do we got with this one?
Twin SOM6s, 2 medium pulse lasers, and an ER small laser in the nose, which is useless because it's very badly mounted. And it even says that in the fluff. Because when writing this thing, it was a case of I didn't want to make stuff that's overpowered. Anyone can make something with a large pulse laser and a targeting computer. And that's just, stuff like that just isn't fun. So I didn't want to optimize anything. I always wanted to have stuff that was balanced, basically.
Got it. So basically it's supposed to be it's
a harasser. It's basically you play it like a harasser. It's bloody fast. It zooms around, hammering people with pulse lasers and missiles. But it's you hit it and it falls apart.
Right. So it's an upgraded Savannah Master.
Yeah, basically, or an upgraded harasser. A harasser hovercraft. Same thing. Same principle. Same idea.
Okay. The Cali assault helicopter.
Yeah, this thing was modeled on the Hind with the twin cockpits at the front and the big bulky look to it. And this thing is designed to get in close and murder you. It's got 4 SOM6s and a large pulse laser. Its whole purpose is to run at you screaming and tear you a new one with lots of missiles.
All right, so here's a question, because now I'll admit this is my for being around Battletech for 30 years, I've never understood VTOLs because there's 2 points of armor on each blade.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you ever take this? Because
if you can get them moving fast enough with a higher movement modifier, good luck hitting it.
That's fair.
And it's designed to zip around and get behind you. It's basically a backstabber, and it's got the speed to do it. I can't remember if you scroll up if you
to the stats on
it. Yeah. Okay. 914, yeah, 14 movement. That's fast. That'll get you a lot of pluses to hit. And then if you can get behind someone, yeah, good luck.
That's fair. Okay. The Shara light tank.
Yeah. This was based on a canonical vehicle. There's some of the 3060 vehicles that Matt did. And basically this is a deliberately second line tank to replace what was it bloody called? Just looking. Yeah. Oh, 3060.
For the record, we're about 5,000 away.
Bloody hell. That is just zooming along. Yeah, it was designed to replace the... Where is it? No, not that one. the Mithras, which is a light tank. And again, it's basically the same kind of thing. It is very much a second line design.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
We'll come back to the book here in a second.
Yeah.
I figured we could watch this.
I think we can.
Jeez. All right, so we are 2.5 hours in to hit 2 million.
There we go. There we go. Bang.
Gambit Raven, 11,277 backers for Clan Invasion. We are on our way to surpass that this weekend.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Remarkable. Yeah. And it's 2 million. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. I mean, so now I'm curious as to, well, we'll keep watching for
stretch goals.
Well, right, for announcement of the next. Okay, I'm guessing the next stretch goal. I'm guessing it's going to be at 3 million.
Yeah.
Instead of
I don't think that. Yeah, because I don't think they will have the kind of one that was like with the previous one, where it was okay. We've hit this. We've got to think of something to go at the next one. We've got to think of it. We've got to think. So it was lots of little increments, which was being smashed every time they added it. So yeah, 3 million. That sounds about that. Or yeah, that sounds sensible.
My guess is they have it planned out through 5 million.
Yeah,
and I think if they hit 5, then they're going to hit the point of wait, what do we do next? Which, from my understanding, everything that they're going to do has been planned.
Yeah.
So
all the mechs and all that, they're done as far as I'm aware. So God knows.
Right. So I know somebody had mentioned in chat earlier. Some dude on YouTube. I'm not sure if you're still here, but he brought this up. Any bets on how on time they will deliver this time? Clan Invasion dragged itself along, quote, for some time. I am mixed. I've been through a lot of Kickstarters. I think with these, they're probably ready for tooling because...
Well, the thing is, it's a case of... With the last one, there was some issues because, first of all, you had... there was a bit of a thing that started in 2020, which saw the planet shut down.
Right.
And then there was the huge spike in shipping costs and the shipping delays and all the bits and bobs that were caused by that, and everything. So yeah, you can kind of understand why the first one dragged on. With the second one, with this one, as you say, they've probably got everything tooled and ready to go because we've seen models of all of the mechs apart from like a handful now.
Right. And
so we'll have to see.
That's why I pulled this up, because the pink ones I think are still prototypes.
Yeah.
But the gray ones, I believe, are at least first shots.
Yeah.
From
there's a local-ish gaming store that I'm going to be going to. What is it, Saturday and Sunday? They're doing one of the big Kickstarter event things, and they were given plastic models of the Kickstarter stuff that they can give away. And it's all of them. So it's
then
all the ones there.
And I don't think this is everything. I think this is most of it.
Yeah, that's most of it. And yeah, so the stuff is ready to go. It's just a case of producing it in the numbers needed.
Hold on a second. Okay, so Gambit Raven, let's see. Nords or regulars? Didn't I I think Snords Irregulars is already out, right?
Yeah, they're one of the Barnes and Noble exclusive ones, I think.
No. Aerodani Light Horse is Barnes and Noble. Alpha Strike. Sorry. Okay, I think Snords Irregulars is brand new because I have Northwind Highlanders, Aerodani Light Horse, Hanson's Rough Riders, Wolf's Dragoons. I still need to do the Kell Hounds box. So Gambit Raven, I don't believe you can get Snords Irregulars right now.
Yeah, soon, I would guess, probably within the next month or so.
I don't know if it's part of the Kickstarter. I'm gonna say
no, I don't think it is.
Later,
Snords is one of the, again, Barnes and Noble kind of things. It's not the specific mercenary units, i.e. Snord, Kell Hounds, whatever.
Right.
They are Barnes and Noble or this other distribution company exclusive to them for 6 months, and then they'll be put for sale elsewhere.
Let's see here. Their website kind of sucks to find stuff.
It does. It really does.
Let's see. Snort. Nope. All right. I don't want to spend too much time digging through that. So, Cole, you are sort of correct. The Wolf's Dragoons was Barnes and Noble exclusive for 1 year. It is now available everywhere that can get it. Not just Barnes and Noble. That's been replaced with Aerodani Light Horse. So that's the current Barnes and Noble exclusive.
Yeah.
If you like the Aerodani Light Horse, then absolutely grab one.
Well, you get Sneed in there, so that's unique. That's worth getting it purely for Sneed.
I would link you the review of the Aerodani Light Horse, but that doesn't come out for a couple of weeks. I've got videos like prepped and in the can. And Aerodani Light Horse is scheduled for April 10th. So if you want to wait, Gambit Raven, I'll have a review coming up on April 10th, and you can get a good 360 view of all the Aerodani Light Horse stuff. Yeah. So there's that. And then, yes, Cole, you're right. All the distributors all have the exclusives. I believe it's just a 1 year exclusive on those, and then they'll go into regular distribution for everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that is at. Let's see. I wonder if they have done another update yet. Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Give them time.
Yeah. Just over 2. We're not even at 2.1 yet. All right, let's go back to Zhukov then. Stop sharing. Share screen. Nope, that is not. That's what I want. There we go. Aha! All right.
There we go. Yeah, basically, the Shara was designed to be a cheap as chips garrison tank, and it's just whatever. It's a light tank. It's designed to defend itself and look intimidating to any civilian who might be getting ideas.
Exactly. So, and I don't think we did answer it. This is scheduled to deliver in June of 2024. So at worst, I think I could actually see them like pushing really hard to hit June 2024.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be able to sell the new stuff at Gen Con next year.
Yeah.
So,
and they miss this year, where it's like because originally this was meant to start at the end of last year, wasn't it? It was like they were saying Q4.
I think it was like November last year is what they were going to do.
Yeah, but then it was a case of they maybe realised, well, we're going to run into Chinese New Year. We've got Christmas coming up, so we're not going to have that many people who have got spare money to pay for Christmas. We've also got the cost of living crisis kicking everyone in the backside at the moment.
Right.
So putting it back, delaying it, also means they can get more stuff ready. And it's a case of it's pretty much, I would guess, ready to go now. It's just getting it made and getting it shipped. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and I think it was also a matter of, hey, wait a second, we've got Adepticon coming up, and that's just a perfect marketing opportunity. You know, they can, they're absolutely leveraging it because now,
don't blame them.
I mean, they're there in person. They announced it there. Where they've got their booth set up, so the way the convention center is set up, it's part of a hotel.
Yeah.
And so there's the hotel, and then there's like this big hallway between the hotel and the convention center. And basically they're set up right at the end of the hallway just before you walk into the hotel.
That's a good location.
Yeah. And so it's just like, they're just hitting all of that traffic walking in, as people walk in for the day from the hotel. So I think there were a lot of things that just said, hey, it's not going to hurt us. They probably didn't have to change the delivery date. They were already paying, like, let's be honest, they didn't have to pay for the tooling. The tooling was, they've already funded all of the tooling. So they got that done. And now it's just, hey, what stretch goals are we working on?
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, let's talk some more Zhukov and we'll check then we'll check in a little bit. All right. So the Pele light tank.
Again, another kind of garrison tank, but this is where I started introducing Omni vehicles. And basically the idea is that with this thing, the turret is modular. It's not that you take out the weapon systems, you replace the whole turret. We're kind of exploring this now with vehicles like the Boxer APC, which is being developed and fielded by Western Europe, NATO countries. And the whole system is modular. Basically, you get a base chassis with a cab at the front for the driver and the commander. Anything in the back you can take out and plug and play within about 45 minutes. Same idea here.
Got it. Okay. So
kind of
like a Humvee, but with tracks.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, what can you put on the top? Anything. What do you want to fit? Yeah. Okay. Basically, yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Fair enough. Real quick, how good of a soccer player is this tank?
I have no idea what you mean.
Pele.
Oh, Pele. He was a boxer.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, Pele was a football player. No, the naming convention I went with all of these was all gods and things like that. But yeah, I kind of forgot that.
God, yeah. I see. Look, a stupid joke brings out more information about your design choices. There we go.
And me being a Brit, and I bugger all about football. It's a stupid sport for overpaid people.
I called it soccer, and you didn't even blink.
I don't care. I prefer rugby. Although American hand egg still confuses me.
That's okay. For me, if I'm going to go to a sporting event, baseball.
Yeah.
But, if I'm going to play it, it's going to be sit on my couch and paint models.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
All right. The Eris Armored Personnel Carrier.
Yeah, it's an APC. Well, one of the things that I didn't like was in 3060 was this thing called the Santavit APC. And this thing's meant to be able to carry elementals. But I have no idea how the hell you're meant to fit elementals in there unless it's like the TARDIS. or basically you have your first guy go in, he lays down, and then the next one gets on top of him. You just stack elementals in the back, and then
then just launch them out with a slingshot.
yeah, it's very dignified. And so this, it's just it's an APC, it's a hovercraft. So its job is to carry tropes. It's a simple box, but as you can see again, we've got the elemental and everything for scale, and the big troop compartment in the back with side doors and on the back.
Sure. No, I like it. The Neath scout vehicle.
Yep. Again, this is based on actually a real vehicle, an Italian tank destroyer that they've got in service now called the Centauro.
I was going to say Striker.
Yeah,
I'm an American.
Striker. Well, yeah. Yeah, same kind of principle. It's a scout vehicle. It's kind of like the existent Chevalier, which is a Comstar vehicle. Same kind of thing. It's an ER large laser and some ECM gear, designed to just poke around. Although it is amphibious, which is fun.
And here's another question: why does the phone company need an army? Let's be honest.
Reasons for security. They've got to look after their personnel.
Collecting on the phone bill is a hazardous job.
It can be. Sometimes security is needed.
The Nerio Strike Tank.
Yeah, this is a cousin, basically, of the Enyo, which is an existent vehicle. And I basically thought of it basically like being a predecessor to the Enyo. It's a cavalry tank. It's fast. It's pretty well armed. Quite fragile.
I was going to say, it looks kind of like a hot rod.
Yeah. 96 kilometers an hour. That's nippy for a tank.
That's
and it's kind of built like a dune buggy with the big tracks and the big road wheels and stuff like that to be good for off-road and stuff. So good cavalry vehicle.
I am going to take your word for it. The Polemos wheeled APC.
This thing is actually the Mars rover that NASA was showing off a couple of years ago. There was like what's his name? One famous American scientist chap, can't remember his name. Showing it off, and it's basically that thing, but I put a turret on it because it just looked really cool. It was this really awesome looking vehicle that they came up with for this idea of a Mars rover for the future, and it was that basically. So I thought, showed it to Matt. He said, put a gun on it and make it obvious that troops can get in and out. It's done.
All right, the Atropos Assault Hover Tank.
It's kind of like the existent SM-79, which is built by the Novacats. It's an ultra autocannon on a hovercraft.
Yep. I was gonna say, I saw this and I'm like, this looks like it was on a click base.
Yeah. This thing, no, it was so it was just like, its whole purpose is to go very fast and punch you very, very hard. Or as Matt put on it, delivering the good news with the gun.
Delivering the good news with the gun. Fair enough. I mean, good news.
That's the little touches he puts in. It's like you'll see one later on one of the big assault tank that he did, and he did it. I didn't prompt him to do any of the details, but it was that was just him, and he's done this on a lot of projects and stuff like that. When it's little touches and artwork and things like that he'll do and add.
Got it. All right, so the Hephaestus combat engineering vehicle and combat bridge layer.
Yep.
So two for the price of one.
Yes. Because logistics is not represented in Battletech, really. It's like you get the odd engineering vehicle here and there, mostly in the sphere stuff, but it's never mentioned in the clans, but they'd need it.
Right. I mean, if you're going to have a tank or a car, you've got to be able to get it across the water when it can't walk through it.
Yeah, or to be able to recover it when it's bogged down or broken down and needs to be hauled off. And yeah, it's like the the Hephaestus has got the big digger bucket as well, which is Myoma, which is why it's got like the bicep like cabling. That's all Myoma powered and stuff like that. Yeah, there's bigger pictures on the next page.
There we go.
And yeah, it's armed purely for self-defense and maybe blowing up some small obstacles.
And clearly, it works out.
Yes.
Max flex.
Max flex. Yeah.
These are great designs. So, how much was you, and how much was just, hey, Matt, I want something like this, and he just blah.
Yeah, it'll be a case of this, but Battletech here. And put what's the armament? It's got this on it. It's got like and okay, fine, fair enough, and that's it. And again, he's very good at interpreting stuff. I've never had any issues with any of my art with him.
Did you prep the stats first and then send it to him?
Yes.
Or did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It will be a case of when doing the process, it will be a case of, okay, I'll think about a tank or whatever, a mech. What's it going to have? What's its fluff? Boom, 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 armament. And then you think about where the guns are going to go, and then you can base it around that. And just, again, provide references and bits and bobs.
All right. Fair enough. All right. The Nike Infantry Fighting Vehicle.
Yep. This is actually based on a 1950s British airborne tank concept. This thing's actually in World of Tanks. I can't remember what it's called in that. But yeah, it was a real design that was never made. And again, it was just, I liked the design with the forward mounted turret and the big section at the back, which is where the elementals are going to go. And it was just going to say, okay, what's the armament? It's got an LB-10 and an LOM-15. Okay, cool. Battletech it, done. And that's what we did.
I just love that. Battletech it.
Yeah. Again, he is very good at just interpreting my excited gibbering.
Nice. Sorry, just going back and forth, checking to see when they put out a new update. They're at 2.1. Ishtar 2 fire support vehicle.
The original Ishtar looked terrible. It's definitely not one of Matt's finer designs. It was like a big front wheel thing with a tiny little wheeled trolley, and it looked top heavy as all hell. And I think he agreed with me. So he was happy to do this one. And here again, this is like it's got like a little features like the unmanned turret, which is an oscillating turret based on a French vehicle. And again, big cannon. I think it was LB-20. Yeah, LB-20. And yeah, it's designed as a city fighting vehicle, an urban assault, in support of other mechs and anything else. Because you still don't want to get twatted by an AC-20 any range, really.
Okay. All right. I just realized I didn't link this in the description of the video, so I'm trying to add that while you talk. Tezcatlipoca.
Yes. Named after a Mayan god, shadows and jaguars. Basically, it was named deliberately as an insult to the smoke jaguars. And it's basically an on-toss, but it's got chemical lasers because I had them introduced earlier. It's kind of like a second-line tank, but a heavy second-line tank with a lot of firepower. 4 chemical medium lasers, 2 large chemical lasers, and some machine guns. And I love what Matt put on the bulldozer blade. Get out the way.
I mean, what else are you going to put on a bulldozer?
Yeah, without it being a swear.
Fair. Fair.
It would start with an F, yes.
But yeah, and I like how he's got like the little flame effects on there. Very subtle, but it's black and white, so we'll forgive it. All right, the Yama main battle tank.
Yep, this is like your standard. This would be like the Hellbringer, the Loki. Sorry, that is the same thing. The Hellbringer, the Summoner kind of thing, or it would be like the general purpose heavy mech that would be used. In this case, the general purpose heavy tank. And again, it's an Omni tank where you can just yoink out the turret and replace the weapons with the stuff above.
Right, which it looks like you've got 5 variants on there. Anywhere from a Gauss rifle to an LB-20.
Yep, and twin LM-20s and bits and bobs like that. One little feature that is fixed on it is that it's got the armored motive system because it on the tracks, which helps keep it mobile. Basically, it reduces in-game damage at times. It's quite useful. It's also bloody heavy. So it's like, you gain some, you lose some with that. But it's fast. It's a heavy. It's basically your clan heavy cavalry mech.
And it still moves at a 5.8, so it ain't slow.
No.
All right, the Alki main battle tank.
Yeah, this was kind of based on the pattern, not the pattern, the Abrams.
I was going to say that looks like an Abrams to me.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by the American tank. And again, Omni tank, so you can yoink off the turret and replace it with bits and bobs, but not as many configs.
I still have 4.
Yeah.
So, of course, actually, no, the other one wouldn't have been 5. It would have been 6. Prime plus up to Echo. So, this one's Prime Alpha Beta, Alpha Bravo Charlie.
Yeah.
So...
people, I don't know. Some people get irritated because I use the NATO phonetic alphabet, but I don't care.
Well, you said earlier that you're ex-British Army, so it's what you're used to.
Oh yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, and let's be honest, all they ever did in Battletech was Prime, A, B, C. Sure, whatever. Anyways.
Same thing, basically.
All right, the Chengdu assault tank.
Yeah, this one is a slightly later design because it's got ATMs on it. Because I kind of did another book before this that had a mixture of stuff in it, including quad Vs, which are in this one as well. And when we was putting the PDF together, the person who put it together for me, a friend of mine, put it all together into one big book. So it's all there, basically.
Okay. This one, I will admit, the art frustrates me because it seems, for lack of a better way to put it, soft in some places. And so it kind of just seems like out of focus, like here, down in here. I mean, obviously there's a lot of smoke and stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, because I want to like this, it seems like it should be just a big, beefy tank that it's like, okay, this is going to be awesome.
You got that.
Something's happening in my eyes. So, anyways, nothing against Plog or your designs. I'm just,
I criticize away. Any comments are good. Bad, even if you think it's not that good, fine. That's good feedback.
Well, yeah, and honestly, that's one of my biggest frustrations doing all the YouTube stuff. It's like I'll post something and say I would like feedback, and everyone's like, "Thanks for the video." It's like that tells me nothing.
Yes. Well, I've kind of had that with work. It's a case of you get a ticket from someone, they've got an issue, and all they've put is help.
Yeah.
What with? Global warming? What do you want help with? Item.
Deforestation?
Okay. Yeah. I've got an item. There's several 100 million of them. What one?
All right, the Kratos assault tank.
This
Oh,
is
this
the
was
big boy.
This was the big boy you showed earlier. Yeah, 95 tons.
Yeah, this is the Mars replacement. The Mars tank is incredibly slow. It's useless tactically because it's like a 32 kilometers an hour. But it's a bunker. You put it near something that you want to keep and you want to the enemy to not have, and that's it. This is basically the direwolf of the project. And with this one, again, I didn't prompt him, but the markings on the hull and on the gun, it's got boy. It's Kratos. That's Kratos' tattoo and everything. I didn't ask Plog to do that. He did that himself.
Oh, okay. I finally keyed in. I have not played God of War, but you know, my sons did, and so it took me a couple of seconds to key in on that. But no, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's all the little touches. But basically, this thing's the direwolf of the Zhukov project. It's the horse's big stick. There's not that many of them.
What is that?
What is what?
That little highlighted section. It looks like it's like a hatch.
That's a reactor. That's where the engine is.
Ah, okay.
And then you've got twin LOM-15s on the they're technically mounted on the front. It's kind of like on the Mars. It's got 3 LOM-15s on the front, but in the art they're all on the back. Same thing here. In game rules they're on the front, but art-wise, otherwise
just meaning
really weird.
Just meaning it only shoots forward as opposed to
basically it's a VLS. It fires them up and over the tank.
Got it. Okay. I'm going straight up. Like when you first showed it earlier, I'm like, oh, it's a big tank. Okay. But now that I'm seeing it again, I do like this. It's just a beast.
Yeah. It's a big block of FU. This thing is designed to get in your face and stay there and take a real hammering. It's heavily armored. And it's just, it's a big, obnoxious block of danger. Yes.
And it's also got the ER large laser and 2 LB10s in that turret. Okay. I like this. A little bit of offset over here, so it's not perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
Which I am horribly, like, guilty of. That's the word I'm looking for. Like just making everything symmetrical. I do it a lot, but the offset really just, I don't know, something about it.
It adds
just grabbing me.
Yeah, it's like when you see some mechs and bits and bobs that they look where they're non-symmetrical, where they've got like a big missile launcher and then nothing on the other side, and it makes it look a bit more menacing, and stuff like that. It just adds to it.
Yeah. All right. The Ithon Mark I assault transport.
Yep. It's a canonical vehicle. The original art was horrible. I'm sorry. I don't know who the artist was, but it looks like something that would be found on an industrial site delivering plumbing. And it's got this absurdly oversized gun and all bits and bobs on it that just make it look absurd. I'll just put a link in it. There you go. It looks like it's got a promenade deck, and the elementals on board can go shopping on C deck, and there's a swimming pool, and there's a lounge deck out front. It's absurdly oversized, and the gun is huge. I don't know, I don't, especially because with that picture you've got a door. So how big is that gun? What the hell is it firing? Is it firing small cars at people? I don't bloody know. This one, it's same thing. It's got a long tom cannon on the front, and is designed to carry elementals into fortified locations and make those fortified locations go away.
So and the original.
Yeah.
Eshuda? I don't know.
Yeah. And again, on the front, you can see the door there, which is where your mouse is
Right.
So how big is that cannon? That is absurdly huge. And
Well, it's a long tom.
Yeah, but even then, that looks like a pie launcher. It's like one of the ones from 3060 or 3068, where the gun barrels were immense. It's an ER small laser. It's a gun barrel that you could fit a Volkswagen inside.
What was the name of the dumb thing? It was on the cover of like 3067. I absolutely hate the figure for it.
Sagittaire?
Yes. Yeah. That one, like the guns alone just look like cartoons. And
really, the redone model is very nice, but the original art was a bit because again the guns were huge barrels and things like that. It's like, no.
I don't know. The Sagittaire hasn't even gotten any new art. The model that they put out was. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's in one of the mercenary packs.
No, right. No, it's got the new model. I'm just saying the model is based on the only piece of art that they've ever done for it. Check on Sarna. It's like 3067, and that's the only piece of art.
Nope. They did a new one. It's in the old clan book.
Oh.
2 seconds. There you
go.
And yeah, they reduced the barrel sizes a lot. They're still bulky, but they've reduced the lens size. So they're not, again, custard pie launchers.
Okay, well then this wasn't there when I did my review. It still doesn't look any better.
Fair enough. Agree to disagree.
I don't want to bounce back and forth because I already did that a couple of times. But yeah, the Sagittaire just looked like a cartoon. Anyhow, all right. So I will agree with you. I like the design on this better.
It's basically it's a Storg from World War II.
Yeah, with a long tom.
Yeah,
which was more like a train artillery than a Stug.
Again, it depends on the size of the gun. I've always, when you say long tom to me, I think 8-inch caliber. It's why when I saw the new long tom, which is a lovely model and a lovely piece of art, the gun is immense. It's like a battleship cannon. Well, it's huge. It is absolutely immense. But
remember the original metal model. The gun itself was about 1.5 hexes long.
Yeah, it was basically a railway gun, for all intents. So a battleship cannon.
So anyhow, all right, the Ganesha assault transport.
Yep. This is like the big heavy APC. It can carry 15 elementals in total, or a combination of them. And it's got big hatches on the side, which you've highlighted there, or the back opens up as well.
Okay.
And it's based on the same hull as the Atheon. That was one thing I wanted to keep.
Okay. I see what you're doing there. Okay, but it's got the hatches on the side, whereas the Atheon doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. The Nurgle support tank.
Mm-hmm. Again, based on the Ganesha, and this is just how many LOMs can you put on it? Yes.
Just keep adding until we're out of space.
6 LOM 15s on a heavily armored platform.
Oof.
Yeah,
that is so. It's almost a Bane.
Yeah, it's almost as bonkers as the Bane. And yeah, it's a slow moving, heavily armored blob of missiles.
Fair enough. All right. Here's your Deimos light battle armor with a little bit more camouflage this time.
Yeah. With this one, we introduced the jump booster. So it's basically the Hurl's horses saw the I can't remember the name of it. The clan light armor with the wings, with the partial wing system.
Okay.
And they saw that and they thought, yes, but they couldn't get the partial wing system to work, so they just basically added more boosters.
Got it. Okay. quick jump back over to Mercs. I think they're at 2.2. Okay, almost at 2.2, but they just put out update 3.
Ooh.
So, I suppose I should share the screen. Might be helpful.
It does. It does help.
All right, update 2 million and 2 million and beyond. So we've already talked about what they were going to do. That's it.
We'll release more stretch goals soon, so stay tuned. They're probably going, what do we think of something?
Well, so again, that then begs the question, are they going, because I thought they said that they weren't going to go nuts. They weren't going to add a bunch of extra stuff. But
when people are going, here, take my money, go to the old...
That's true, but I mean, you run into that issue of, do you add more stretch goals and possibly mess up your timeline, or do you just leave it as is? Because I mean, of course, they could do stuff like more posters, more books, fiction, stuff like that.
6 billion stretch goal. We're in contact with Netflix about a series. It's like,
they can't do that.
I know. Licensing and all that. We can but dream, can't we? We can dream.
The rights to anything Battletech are straight up ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like Activision's got some, Microsoft has got some. Although that might change with Activision being bought by Microsoft, so a lot of the licenses will be under one roof.
This is different. Battletech Aces open beta playtest lets you play Alpha Strike solo or cooperatively against an AI opponent. Each unit you wish the AI to control is assigned a deck of cards based on its battlefield role, and will use these cards to make decisions about when to act, where to move, and what to shoot at. At this stage, the rules and cards PDF is designed for use directly with the Alpha Strike box set. That is the playtesting that is the playtesting that this open beta is associated with. We're incredibly excited to bring this new way to experience Battletech to our great community and look forward to your feedback. You will be emailed a link to the playtest documents once you have backed the Kickstarter. All of the details surrounding how and when to turn in your feedback are covered in this document. So
that's definitely no.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Because when they said it was against AI, I thought, hang on, wait a second. So they're making Mega Mech?
No. Well, so I mean, it's board game AI.
Yeah.
So flip a card, do what it says. But lately I've kind of, been the homebody, and I'm just going to stay home, and I don't want, why leave the house? Why talk to people?
I know. People.
So solo play is kind of interesting, but it's also kind of weird because I'm also disinclined to solo stuff. Like, I have all sorts of board games that could be played solo, and I don't do it because you're supposed to play board games with other people. So anyhow,
it's still something to try. Maybe one day we can just test it, see what happens.
I mean, we've backed it, so we're going to have access to the plays test stuff eventually.
Exactly.
So, all right, let's get back to Zhukov. And I will admit we might need to take a break and do another. Okay, let's go through the battle armor.
Yeah, it's a very short section.
Right. And then, because we're coming up on 3 hours, and I still have to work tonight, meaning I have to go to bed.
Have you slept?
I work nights, dude.
Oh my goodness.
When we started the stream, I had literally just clocked out of work.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes. Otherwise, we're just going to see you. You'll be sitting there going, and tonight on either that or there's going to be a thud, and we're going to hear your keyboard bleeping because you face planted on all the keys.
That's, I mean, well, if the stream starts doing weird things, we know why.
Because you've passed out.
We have also been here for 3 hours. Steve probably needs to get some dinner at some point. And and I'm starting to defocus. We can tell.
Let's go on to the next battle suit and then call it at that. And
well, like I said, is it? Oh, okay, got it. Then we're gonna get into battle. Okay, so we'll do the Electo assault battle armor.
Yeah, this is the big boy, the 2-ton battle suit. Because again in Zhukov I had the gnome introduced earlier. Because it was a case of the other clans came up with like the salamander, the flamethrower one.
Okay.
And I think it's the Efreet, which is the jumpy one with the wings and everything. And the Hell's Horses are like, okay, we want our own light suit and we want our own heavy suit. And that's the Electo is the big assault suit. It's slow, it's cumbersome, but it is an ER medium laser. So it's you can deploy them with the Ganesha, or you can drop them off with a what's it called? There's a VTOL transport that I can't remember the name of, and her, and they're basically a minefield, a dangerous minefield, a very tough, hard to kill minefield.
I am guessing that you're not going to mount them on Omnimax to ride in, though.
Too big. Well, they're 2 tons a pop, so no.
Right.
So yeah, they'd have to be carried in an APC, like the Ganesha, which is what it was designed to do. The Ganesha, you can have them operate as a pair, and you can get a full star. You get like 5 of them, and then a mixture of normal elementals and other bits and bobs to fill out the rest of it. And you can deploy basically a combined arms force of elementals for any role, really.
Okay.
And yeah, this is basically the big tough brick.
Got it. Okay. So then a couple of questions. Is it like, are these still going to be like 5 to a base, or are they going to be okay?
Yeah.
So they're still battle armor. Yeah,
it's still battle armor. Again, the closest equivalent I can think of is this thing from the Inner Sphere, the Hanazu. This big boy here. It's basically my equivalent thereof. And that's battle armor. But again, it's a 2-ton battle suit where...
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. It's just a big battle armor. There are 2-ton assault suits. The Wolves had one called the Warg, and the Falcons developed one called the Ironhold, and all bits and bobs like that. So yeah, 2-ton suits exist. It's just this one popped up at this time, and it's Hell's Horses exclusive. No other clan. They just don't see the value, and it's too slow.
Got it.
Because they don't think, well, we haven't got the things to transport it. Exactly. So they don't use it.
Okay. All right. So that takes through about half of Project Zhukov. So,
yep. And this is just one of the books. I did go a bit over the top, but it's something that I like writing, even if I'm not that good at writing. And it's just something to give to the community. I love the game. I've been playing it a good portion of my life. And it's a case of a way of showing support for it. And just letting the creative juices work. And just doing stuff because I want to.
No, and I think that is that is awesome. I mean, you know, like especially with role playing where like, you know, the whole OGL and you know, what are people going to do? What are people allowed to do? I think, you know, just the ability to create something and just give it to people, you know, I wish you could sell it. I do. I am a capitalist at heart.
Same here.
But you know, I do think that it is a fun exercise. It's some fun information. The amount of writing that you've done. I mean, have you considered submitting anything, you know, for Shrapnel or, you know, anything official for Battletech?
I have been jotting down some writing bits and bobs for it, but I've not actually submitted anything official.
All right. When are you going to submit something?
Soon. The annoying thing is, at the moment, I'm actually working on another Battletech project. This one's focusing on the Inner Sphere. It's not going to be anywhere near as big as Zhukov. Zhukov's my biggest one that I've done. And everything else since then has been smaller. But this one's going to be looking at the Inner Sphere and continuing the story in the setting. Because I'm a bit nervous about the next step, which would be the Fedcom Civil War. And we've got an idea how to do that, because I've been talking with a friend of mine, bouncing ideas off of each other. And it's a case of trying to figure out what to make the Fedcom Civil War work in a way that is a bit more logical. Because it was like in canon, it was a case of Katrina Steiner-Davian comes to power, says, Federated Suns are smelly. All of the Lyran military goes, yes. Out of the blue. It's a case of, so they wouldn't have followed her all immediately. It's a case of you would have had certain elements within who would have been loyal to her, following her, and people put into positions by her. But they've been together, what is it, 40, 50 years as a nation? They fought off the clans. Together they crippled the Capellans. They fought back the Draconis Combine and everything. And then Katrina Steiner-Davian comes along and goes, they smell. And that's it. And then everyone's like, yes, they do. We agree with you, and they are smelly, and we're going to go punch them. So something like that, but a bit more rational. It's like Yvonne Davian Steiner was like, Katrina Steiner's sitting there cackling and like, give me all your powers. Like, yes, I trust you implicitly. Here's all of my powers of state. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that one. And it's
I was going to say, I think we touched on that a little bit earlier about just like some of the things that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter because we still have these cool stories.
Yeah, so we've got some ideas and bits and bobs of how to make it happen without it being so. Well, this happens because it has to happen because it happens,
right?
Kind of thing, without it being so trite. And so the idea is there's going to be fighting between the Federated Commonwealth and the Lyran. Sorry, between the Suns and the Lyrans.
Mm-hmm.
But the main point of it is going to be more a palace coup by Peter Steiner-Davian, her brother, who's in MechWarrior 4 and in the cartoon. And it's a case of having it be more him going against his sister, because he's recognizing, well, she's gone a bit bonkers, really, and let's let power go to her head. But they're still going to be fighting. The Federated Suns is going to end up fighting the Capellans again to keep the St. Ives compact around, or not. We don't know yet. And Victor's going to come back, and Kat's going to be in control, and it's all going to be. But again, that is a big storyline to cover, and have to think about how changing in a way that's slightly different but still making it work and still making things happen. Because then the knock-on effects of this, if the Lyrans and the Suns survive it more economically together, what would that effect have on the jihad and stuff like that one, if the jihad happens, and things like this one. So it's like trying to figure out bits and bobs to make it work, to make the timeline and everything still seem familiar but different without being too wildly different.
Right.
And so it's a case of trying to figure out that one. That's a big that's a big ask. So that's going to be a challenge if I do it. But it's something maybe for the future. But the one that I'm working on now is it's a mixture of stuff that's Fourth Succession War and Revival era stuff, but in a sphere side, focusing on refits and variants and custom mechs that then get produced by manufacturing firms because they see them and they think, oh, that works, can we buy the plans off of you, and things like that one. And that's nearly done. The art's all done. Most of the writing has been proofread and is being proofread. So hopefully that will be the next 2 months.
Okay.
Man, and it'll be there to download. It's along with all the others, like Nelson, like the Wars of Grievance, and all bits and bobs like that one. But yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, about 2 months.
All right. Well, I wouldn't normally do this, but you have put so much work into this. So I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
Within the next 6 months, I want you to submit something to Shrapnel.
Okay.
I want you to get published and paid by Catalyst for all, well, not necessarily for the other work that they can't pay you for.
I know. I've got an idea. I've actually got an idea. So yeah, it's just putting it down onto paper and sending it in, and then maybe if they accept it or not, it's up to them, of course.
Hey, we can't control that, but I will be bothering you about it during the Paint and Chill streams.
Challenge accepted.
All right. Well,
challenge accepted.
Then, all right, you hold on because I'm going to end the stream, but we're going to say our proper goodbyes offline once I end it. So, everybody, I linked in the description, and we also put it in the pinned comment to Steve's Project Zhukov, so you can go and see the rest of the stuff that we didn't cover. But I will absolutely have Steve back so that we can cover the rest of the book, and he can talk about how he came up with the design choices and whatnot, because this was a lot of fun. Obviously it was a great time being able to talk about the Kickstarter and everything. Also, on why do you stop sending me messages, Steve? It's coming to my watch and I get distracted easily. You know this. Anyways, Monday mornings, I also do I just paint miniatures and hang out with everyone. You're welcome to come and hang out with us, and Steve's usually there. So
I'll be there. I've got this week off. I booked it all off because of the Kickstarter.
Well, then come hang out with us. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, all those fun things. Go check out Project Zhukov. Put those mechs and tanks into your games. And
I'd love to hear any feedback as well. If you think it's good, say so. If you think it's bad, say so. I'm open to suggestions and abuse.
Yeah, no abuse. I like Steve. He's nice to me. Anyways, but no, do go check it out. He's got lots of more stuff beyond the Hell's Horses. Like he said, Snow Ravens and a little bit of Ghost Bear and
Hellions, Diamond Sharks, you name it. There's also like an Inner Sphere one that's like a special ops stuff that's old House Cameron's thing, where I really did make some cheesy mechs. Yeah,
I think we've all made some cheesy mechs. But
Yeah.
anyways, with that out of the way, we're going to take off for the day. I'm going to go to bed. Also, Steve won't be here. I might do another stream tonight. Don't quote me on it because I wasn't expecting to do this for 3 hours.
I blame you.
Yeah. But do hit that notification bell so that if I do go live again tonight to see where we're at after the first day, you can see that. But otherwise, we'll be here tomorrow morning and doing some painting, and we'll check in on the Kickstarter from time to time. Any last words, Steve?
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, it's been nice to rabbit on, and thank you for letting me bimble.
You're very welcome, sir. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you next time, and I'm going to hit the end button, and we'll just,